Happy 4th of July, you filthy animals, and welcome back to... Why is my camera all the way over there? What do you think? Welcome back to... Here we go. Welcome back to the biggest pro wrestling stream of the summer, baby. It's WAT-CON. I know y'all been waiting for WAT-CON. Let me get a quick audio check before I go any further to this very professional stream and broadcast here. Let's see. Okay, you can hear me. Thank goodness. All right, here we go. Bit of a hot mess coming into this one. I booted up my game, and none of my matches were saved. I was super pissed off. I had to set up this entire card from scratch all over again, which takes longer than you'd think. Might also notice I am not in the basement this evening. I am streaming from the dining room, believe it or not. For circumstances not really worth getting into, I worked upstairs. I work from home. I worked upstairs yesterday. And I thought instead of dragging all my work stuff back downstairs for the stream, let me just bring all my stream stuff upstairs, and then I can still work from upstairs tomorrow, because I like working from upstairs better. And I forgot what a pain in the ass it is to move all the streaming stuff around. There's so many doodads and things I have to unplug and plug in and drag up the steps and down the steps and yada, yada, yada. So I'm a bit of a hot mess. I'm a bit flustered, especially when I saw that my matches were not saved here. My 10 beautiful matches I've been promoting for the last couple of weeks. I had to build it all from scratch. Was very annoyed. And then the game froze and I had to restart it. And wouldn't you know it, it didn't save any of the matches that time either. So I just got done resetting them and finally went live. So I'm starting a little late. Welcome back, though. Welcome to WAT Championship Wrestling. We got a big one for you. This is WAT-CON. This is our SummerSlam equivalent show. It's going to be 10 matches, one card, one big bonanza. We haven't done one of these since really Mania. So this is our biggest show yet, maybe only second to really Mania. We got a hell of a card for you. If you couldn't tell, we got a hell of a card for you just based on the picture sitting in front of us here. Hope everything sounds good. Hope it didn't sound too loud. Sometimes things are a little weird when you move to a different room. I'm going to hit start on this. Let's get it started before it has an opportunity to freeze, crash, etc. It still could. All right, let's go. Yep, let's go. Let's go. Let's get the show started here. Let's start tweeting these out. What do we got here to start the show off, folks? This is what we call a one-night-only card right here, a one-night-only match. And that you ain't going to see these guys wrestle in WATCW ever again. This is our Billionaire cage fight. One of a kind. You may have seen this match advertised on social media. It's been promoted here and there. It's been speculated upon. Several weeks ago, look at this. You're getting to see the WAT-CON arena for the first time. Where are we, I wonder? I don't know. It didn't do a show intro. It just went right to the show. Where was my pyro? Where's my circumstance?
Making his way to the ring.
They must have understood we were running late. The stream was running late. They were like, we got no time for pyro. Let's just get started.
Big money.
Boo! Boo, this guy fucking sucks. I was hating big time on MGK last time WATCW was live. This is by far and large the worst person to ever enter the ring. So we were just getting this one started off real early. You may have seen or caught wind of a cage fight between Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg. And I've speculated on this stream before that was never going to happen because this son of a bitch right here was going to puss out because he was going to come in, post memes, and then dip because he was not about to get his ass whooped in the cage by the Zuck. And I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I saw Dana White out here like promoting that fight as if it was ready to happen. It was going to be a charity fight. I'm pretty sure Elon bailed out of it. But Mark Zuckerberg was ready to go. He said, send me location. He heard Elon was ready to go, and he said, send me his location. And here he comes! Holy shit! Wait a minute! Mark Zuckerberg is ripped. Look at those sandcastles. What a display we've put together here. Mark Zuckerberg, here's exactly what I was saying.
From the internet,
From the
weighing
internet.
in at 249 pounds, Mark the Destroyer.
Mark the Destroyer. The meat chef is in the kitchen, ladies and gentlemen. I hope Elon is ready for the smoke, because once that cage comes down, there's no escape. I think exactly what I was saying earlier. I think Elon came in here and thought it was just going to be a bit of a meme here. I don't think he understands what he signed himself up for. Mark Zuckerberg has been in the gym training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, apparently hitting the weights. He looks amazing. He's got the fight shorts on with the Meta and the Sweet Baby Rays, smoking them meats. And I think he's actually, you see that VR headset, I'm getting word that he's actually running a fight sim training program right now. Even as he walks down to the ring, he's refining his ability to do violence with his hands and feet, and he is ready for this Billionaire's cage fight, one night only. And this is this is not your ordinary cage match. There will be no escaping, and there'll be no pinfalls. You can only win the Elon didn't even show up in any sort of fight gear. He showed up in his jeans and a t-shirt, wearing sneakers. I think he's grossly misunderestimated, or I should just say underestimated, rather. Oh, big German suplex by Mark Zuckerberg. I think he's grossly underestimated what he signed up for, not even showing up in any sort of serious fight attire. Oh, big dodge there by the Emerald Mine Nepo baby, as he gets a nice little neck breaker off that. Yeah, there's no escaping in this and no pinfall. You can only win the Billionaire cage fight by knockout or submission. We wanted to kind of replicate what's been promised between these two, and I think, oh, and here we go. Zuckerberg going for the early submission with the Anaconda Vice. You see he's got Elon in that headlock, and Elon's hitting knees on the way out. I gotta say, as soon as I made this happen, I was like looking at the image of it, and I was like, I should not have done this. I totally regret a world in which Elon Musk is a contributing member of the WATCW roster. I know it's for one night only, but I really regret seeing his digital image across my screen right now. Just a truly unpleasant man to look at and think about. And I gotta say, he is fighting his way through this, and you hear the fans, they despise it. A lot of boos towards Elon's way. I remember something similar happening when he appeared on stage with Dave Chappelle. A lot of people booed him. It's very embarrassing. What's Zuck doing? You can't escape the Billionaire cage fight. Whoa! Diving elbow by the meat chef there. And look at this. Wow, what a twisted little freak Mark Zuckerberg is, rocking back and forth. He might need to seek psychiatric care. And he goes in, locks Musk in the Anaconda Vice once more. We got Dilly Tots in the chat. How the hell are you, Adam? The party has really started because Adam is in the chat. Happy 4th of July. And what says America? What says capitalism better than two billionaires going in and engaging in fisticuffs together? Actually, that's not really emblematic of capitalism at all, I suppose. But this is the kind of thing we can really take pride in and celebrate. Oh, and he just threw Musk straight into the bars, and it's all legal here. Folks, no disqualifications, of course, in the Billionaire cage fight as he hoists Zuckerberg up for a nice suplex there. And I will give... I won't give Elon Musk credit. That's not a sentence I need to say, and so I won't say it. And as a matter of fact, just as well, because Zuckerberg is taking this fight back in his favor, going up top once more for perhaps another diving elbow drop, points to the sky. Oh, Elon Musk rolls out of the way, didn't quite get it, capitalizes with a DDT. And folks, sometimes this happens where it doesn't really matter who wins, we're all going to lose, we're all going to be stuck on this polluted little rock to die in the void. No matter who wins, we are but the ants under the rock, so to speak. And Zuckerberg locks up again. I gotta say, though, I was pretty excited by the prospect of seeing Elon get beat up by Mark Zuckerberg. And in that respect, I don't regret making it happen here, because I do think this is the only way. Anaconda Vice again! I don't think he's going to get out of it this time, folks! Oh, lets him out of it. Zuckerberg lets him out of it. Very interesting. And what a moonsault! Zuckerberg, I've been told, has been running all sorts of training fight sims on his VR headset for weeks. God, look at his face. His cold, dead eyes. I mean, this is all... I don't think it's fun in games for the meat chef here as he goes up top. He loves going up there for another diving elbow drop, and this one connects and knocks Elon Musk out cold. It's over, folks. The ref forced to call for the bell as that final diving elbow drop from the meat chef. What a fucking monster.
Mark the Destroyer.
Wow, and he can barely believe it. Look, in his joyous, childlike smile. What a way to get started here, folks. Just absolutely ripped. I thank God it's one night only. I just don't think I feel comfortable with somebody who looks like that walking around in the WATCW locker room. I don't really want him to get his hands on anybody else in the roster here. You know, as their commissioner, I have a responsibility to not just book compelling matches, but really protect the talent and staff here. And we just night only as they cart Elon Musk to the back on a stretcher. Zuck just popped Elon's frunk. Very true, with those series of diving elbow drops. Mother, is that you? Oh, it's funny you mentioned Mother. You might just see her later tonight. We've got a hell of a card lined up. What a way to get started. A quick Billionaire's cage fight. And the fans said 2.5 stars good. It's a good way to get everybody warmed up. 2 special guests, neither of which will ever be seen again if I can say anything about it. I will give credit to the community creation space. I did not make either of these. Wow, they're just terrific. All right. Congratulations, Mark Zuckerberg. What a lucky boy. What do we have up next? Of course, it's time. The wonky eye really sells it. Big malfunctioning machine vibes from the Zuck. You know, he is a lean, mean fighting machine, and he really proved it there by just knocking Elon Musk out cold with a massive diving elbow. I think crushed his solar plexus. It's going to take all sorts of medical assistance to get him walking again, and who really cares whether they do. Here we go, championship match. First of 4 we'll be seeing this evening. Our women's championship bout. Now this is a big one, folks. Of course, last stream, bit of an upset. We saw the reigning defending women's champion, Becky the Wreck Raddus, lose the title to the vampiress, Alcina Dimitrescu, Big Lady D. Bit of an upset. I certainly didn't see it coming, and Lady D's been a staple of WATCW really from the beginning, so it was a long time coming, I suppose, in that respect.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall.
Is
for the undisputed, prestigious Women's World Championship.
Mommy D, that's correct. So tonight, it's for all the marbles. It's the rematch. Becky the Wreck cashing in her automatic rematch. And what on earth have we got going on here? Well, you know what? When you take the belt from the champion, she might just declare war. Ladies and gentlemen, stay in your seats and keep your hands in the compartment at all times, because Becky the Wreck is piloting a tank to the ring. And I've said it before. Also, I feel like I'm being very loud. Let me know if I'm peaking the mic, because we don't want that to happen. I don't like when that happens. We've said this before. Becky the Wreck Raddus, since this young league's creation, has been in every single women's championship match. Every single one, whether defending or challenging, she has always been in that spot. And tonight, if she succeeds in winning back her title, it'll be her 4th Women's Champion. Unprecedented 4th championship run. But if she loses, and I hate to even invoke such things, but if Becky loses for the first time ever in WATCW history, she'll be neither the champion or the #1 contender to that belt. So the stakes couldn't be higher for the matriarch of the Nasty World Order. I hear the key to her power is how much geometry she has in her ass. That is a unique ability, a power of Lady Dimitrescu, is she has many polygons in her derriere. Sounds good? Thank goodness. Thank you for letting me know. Becky looks to have her own fair share of the geometry at this match. I have no idea what you mean. Now, of course, with Becky coming to the ring with that NWO to her advantage, but tonight you can see Lady D has brought some children of her own to stand by at ringside and make sure no funny business goes on. She's being flanked by, I believe, not one but 2 Bella Dimitrescus. Here to make sure everything is on the level, fair and square, no funny games, no funny business. It's going to be a fair fight, and it's going to be a massive one, as these 2 Amazonian champions, one former champion, one current, go head-to-head here at WAT-CON, baby. I wish I could tell you where we're broadcasting from, but it just skipped the show intro. No pyro, didn't tell us where we're at. I feel like we're in Orlando. I have big Orlando vibes off of this arena tonight. 4th of July in Orlando. The corsage sells the look. It's very fancy. She's a very proper, fancy, formal woman. Came here for a title fight, but in high fashion as well. And here we go. First championship match of the night. Becky the Wreck Raddus challenging Lady Dimitrescu.
Introducing the challenger from Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland.
The Destroyer, Becca Rage. And introducing the champion from Transylvania, Romania.
Oh, she can't even fit in frame.
Undisputed, prestigious
cameraman, tilt up.
Women's World Champion, Lady Destroyer.
Oh, what a sassy little move there. Here we go. This is proper one-on-one singles action. Championship on the line. I want a nice clean fight. The ref takes the belt over. Becky says, yep, that's the belt. And I want it back. And I want it back in short order. Will she be able to get back her championship? Or will Lady D prevail and go on to really start her championship reign? We'll see as these 2 collide with a massive boot in the middle of the ring. Are they both destroyers? Well, I don't know. They're all destroyers from some... it depends on your point of view. They said Mark Zuckerberg was a destroyer, and they certainly weren't wrong. Again, he caved in Elon Musk's solar plexus just moments ago, and I'm told Elon is not expected to ever recover. I'm so sorry to say that. He'll never feel the same again. We got featured films in the chat. He wants a fucking rematch for the title. Well, you know what? You're gonna have to earn it, buddy. We don't just hand them out. You have to earn it just like you did first time around. Let me know if the stream looks okay. It's looking a little fuzzy to me, but that might just be for me. I don't know if it looks like that for you. I hope it doesn't look like that for you. If it does, I don't think there's much I can really do about it. When I pulled the last VOD of Resident Evil 4, it also looked kind of fuzzy, though, so it's concerning. What's going on, Featured Films? Happy 4th of July. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. It's interesting that you might want another title match in the future. We'll have more news on that at the end. I've got something to announce. Whoa! Just throws her up like a pancake and goes for the pin. Looks a little fuzzy for you too. Interesting. Let me fix something. Make sure I don't have too many like devices running off the same signal here. That'll probably help. Oh my gosh, hold on. Hold it! Yep, connect it. Come on. Oh, I think that was a bit of a spear by Lady Dimitrescu there. Alright, just trying to limit devices connecting to the same signal. And Lady D spills to the outside here. Yeah, if you're interested in more championship opportunities, and this goes for Dilly Ties, this goes for anybody who's ever been in the chat and found themselves in this, in WATCW, we will have an interesting opportunity for you in the coming weeks. But I'll wait until after WAT-CON. Tonight's focus is WAT-CON. We're going to sit and savor this premium live event that's been put together for us here by yours truly. Hope everybody's having a decent holiday. I've been having a nice day off myself. Lady D taking her time to get back in the ring, knowing that Becky the Wreck's waiting for her. Wait, bit of a miscommunication there, as Becky jumps to the outside. You better be careful. There's a couple of ghoulish little ladies there ready to pick up the pieces. Look very, very hungry. Rolls back in. That was a huge miscalculation by Becky the Wreck, who might be psyched out by these monstrous challengers here. An affront to the Nasty World Order. And it's very rare we get to see Becky the Wreck challenge for that belt. She's, of course, the inaugural champion and has won that belt time and time again. Whenever she does lose it, though it might be rare, she has always historically successfully won the belt back in her subsequent rematch. So we've really never seen Becky dip in the rankings before, and that is what's on the line here. She does not win that title back, and what kind of Andy Ann's pretzel submission hold is this? From Lady Dimitrescu, middle of the ring. I don't even know how you escape it, but Becky just resorted to punching her in the back of the fucking head. Good grief. Is the screen a new addition with the LEDs? No, I'm actually just streaming in my dining room. And there's just a white wall behind me, and I've got the same LED light set up as I ordinarily do. You can just maybe see it a little easier with the white wall behind me, but I'm glad it looks good. It's a little blurry, got it at 1080, and it pixelates occasionally. Fuck. That's a shame. I have it streaming at 60 frames. I wonder if maybe I need to just dip it. I probably won't change it while we're live, because I get so paranoid changing stream settings while I'm on console, because I feel like it's going to... Uh-oh, wait a minute. Hold that thought. Everybody, calm down, because it looks like from Transylvania to Suplex City, Becky is dialing it in. Wait a minute. The lights have dimmed. We're actually outdoors. That's very impressive. I think the sun itself blacked out for a moment. Lady Dimitrescu transporting behind Becky the Wreck to take the advantage and momentum back in this match. You've got to be kidding me. I mean, I actually got pretty scared right there when it started fading to black. I thought my PlayStation was going to sleep. I was like, what the fuck? Alcina just takes this match and the momentum back. I tell you, folks, I think it was just about over there. We've seen Becky the Wreck end a lot of matches with those suplexes, but Lady D proving it's how she won that title. Blotted out the sun. Likely the fact that it's the 4th, everyone is home, a lot of people using bandwidth. You think so? As long as they're using the bandwidth to watch and tune into WAT-CON. Oh, hanged her up on the ropes there. Spills to the outside. Look out. Get over there, Rager. Get over there, Demon. Protect the matriarch of the nasty world, because there are some spooky little demons lurking in the shadows there. It's not the first time we'll see the Nasty World and Championship action tonight, by the way. The Rager will be in a triple threat match for the Twitch title, competing against the Master Matt Thomas and, of course, the reigning defending Twitch champion Slick Nick Harley. That's going to be a hell of a contest, and you got to think it would just be fantastic. Wait a minute! Could it be? Big Shipwreck F5 hooks the leg, middle of the ring. New champ. No, Lady D kicks out. And Becky is kicking up dirt and dust on Lady D, and you know that's got to drive her nuts, but you can't afford to take your eyes off the prize when you're in there with somebody as deadly as Lady Dimitrescu, who now is signaling the end of this match. after kicking out of that massive F5. You've got to stay on a competitor like that. Lady D going to try to end this match. Oh, wow. I thought it would... sometimes I've watched a lot of these. I've sat ringside for many contests, and even I thought it was over right there. But Becky the Wreck finds it within herself to fight ahead and move on. But this might be it. So many things awakening inside me as I see it. With that bonsai drop. And I thought maybe she was going to go for the pin right there, but she doesn't. And Becky trying to fight out of it. Trying to get that championship back. I don't think Becky wants to know what it feels like to not be in that #1 spot. It's never happened. She's stayed there since the very first stream. Look at the demon cheering her on the outside. What a friend. Line up some matches and he'll leave a bloody trail to the title. That's featured films in the chat talking a big game. And don't you worry, sir. I got a feeling you'll have an opportunity to back up that talk. But it won't be easy. It'll be easier said than done, of course. Now Becky's throwing Lady D across the ring like a rag doll. That cannot be so easy. That is a large woman, large and in charge. She has her own castle, folks. Big leg drop from Becky the Wreck. Yeah, I thought I noticed this last time too. Because I pulled the VOD of Resident Evil 4 and put it up on YouTube, and I always watch a couple minutes back just to see how it is, and it also seemed kind of low res, considering it was, you could dial it up to 1080p on YouTube, but it still seemed to me like it was kind of low res in spots. So I don't know, that could be another fucking thing I got to deal with when I'm streaming. It could be another problem I get to be burdened with. Oh. Feels like it's been a while since I went live. I've had like 3 or 4 different plans to do it in the past week, and something always comes up. Something always changes and happens. I said I was going to do the quarry with Connor on Friday. We did not do the quarry. Instead, we filmed a Grimace birthday shake TikTok. Took us most of the night. Didn't get around to streaming, so I apologize that we missed our quarry stream. But I hope you enjoyed the Grimace birthday shake TikTok. Wait a minute, Lady D! I don't even know what to call this move. It's some sort of weird modified marching. Powerbomb bridge suplex. Could that be it? No! Becky kicks out. Good grief. What a championship match here we have to get warmed up on WAT-CON. Oh my goodness. Becky jumps out of the choke slam. Amazing. Oh, goes back in, gets pulled up and slammed. What the hell is that move? That is a great question. I've never seen that move in all my years as a pro wrestling aficionado. I actually don't know my moves very well. I've come to learn that when I try to call them out during these. I don't know the moves all that well. And that strange bridge suplex powerbomb thing I've never seen before. I don't think. I have no idea what you would call that. Oh my goodness, Becky. Back and forth we go. Taking the Wreck to the corner. Oh! Big power slam by Lady D, and whoever can... Oh, spear! Is that going to be enough? I don't know. She might get a rope break with her big head. She doesn't. No, but Lady D kicks out of the spear. That was a pick up and set down post choke slam. Oh, Becky dialing it in once more, lining her up for what could be the end of the match. The Nasty World has to want this so bad. Imagine what it would mean for their momentum going into the rest of this show if they secured the women's title back into their grips. You got Rager challenging for the Twitch Championship, and we're going to see Hollywood Nick Muhlbach. Wait a minute! Superplex! Huge superplex off the top! From Becky to Lady D. They're chanting, "This is awesome." Goes for the pin, middle of the ring. New champ! No! Lady D kicks out. The fans loving this women's championship match. Perhaps one of the best we've seen. One of the most competitive women's title matches we've seen in a long time. And Becky is lining it up, looking for the end. Puts Lady D on her back. Lady D's fighting out of that F5. Unbelievable. Back and forth we go. Who is going to secure this here? and prove to be women's champion at the end of this match. Becky picking her up. Oh, and just tossed her into the ropes like a rag doll, like taking out the trash. Unbelievable. As I was saying, Hollywood Nick Muhlbach will be meeting Chris Anthony Lopez. Here we go! Hold on! Becky the Wreck's going to be meeting Lady Dimitrescu right now in a little place called Suplex City, folks. Nails it. Might even just want to end it right here. Try to go for the pin. Might even just want to try and end it here. And she's going to. Middle of the ring. 3 Germans. Goes for the pin. New champ. New champion. And you can see Becky is just exhausted, having had to fight so hard for that. But she does it. Had to use everything in her arsenal to do it. But Becky the Wreck Raddus is once again, and for the 4th time, your new women's champion. Unbelievable.
Here is your winner, and new, undisputed, prestigious Women's World Champion, the Destroyer, Becca Rage.
She has done it once again, folks. Becky the Wreck Raddus is the women's champion. Dilly Tods, that was a match. It was indeed. That was a match worthy of championship gold, and Becky the Wreck is holding it once more. I'm starting to think it is indeed just Becky's world, and we're all living in it. One way or another, she's going to be in that championship spot. And she will forge ahead with the belt once more. A 4-time women's champion. This belt is constantly changing hands, but only Becky's hands. It's Becky has it, and then somebody else beats her, and then she just wins it right back. Very competitive, but only with Becky the Wreck. Nobody can, even if she gets beat, nobody can keep her down. She always comes back and gets that belt. Unbelievable. I don't know who is going to challenge Becky next, but I can tell you we're going to crown the first ever Miss Money in the Bank later tonight as well. So she better hold on tight, because she's going to have somebody with that briefcase looking to cash in. I mean, that would have been a fantastic moment to cash in after that match. Oh boy, this is... what a match this is going to be, folks. Wow, now this is something you truly could only see here on WAT-CW. You know, Black Adam has proven to be sort of a controversial competitor in this league. You might remember back at the Academy Awards when he had that last man standing throwdown with Shazam. Very controversial ending. I believe I actually had to take control of Black Adam because the game was glitching out. He's just been kind of a glutton for drama and controversy. I don't know if you pay attention to show business much, the entertainment industry, the movie dirt sheets, but it seems Black Adam and all other landscapes may be on the outs. Well, Luke Hobbs evidently is back in. So tonight we've got ourselves a bit of a rock show, if you will. Luke Hobbs has appeared in WAT-CW, and according to him, there's only enough room in this town for one Dwayne Johnson character. So we don't just have a singles match between Black Adam and Luke Hobbs of the Fast Saga. It's actually a loser leaves WAT-CW match. Can we call this match the Rock Tumbler? Sure. A good old-fashioned rock-off. Luke Hobbs is not just here to beat Black Adam. Luke Hobbs is here to replace Black Adam, if you can believe it. Luke Hobbs wants to be the new Dwayne Johnson avatar in this league. As it appears, he will be in reality. That's what I love so much about the Black Adam story in the DC universe. Is he said he was going to change the hierarchy of it, and he sure did. And he wasn't included in the new hierarchy. That's how he changed it. He was completely voided out of it. Although, if the Flash box office is anything to go off of, I don't know who's going to be left in the hierarchy at this rate. But Black Adam, he's been a card-carrying member of WATCW, again, since really the beginning. Oh, this is amazing. I know you can't hear it, but they both have the Rock's theme song. I mean, of course they do. And look at this amazing entrance we've never seen before. Here comes Luke Hobbs. Black Adam's out. Luke Hobbs is back. And now he wants to make it true here in WATCW as well. He said, I want to replace this failure everywhere I possibly can. And so if Luke Hobbs wins tonight, folks, Black Adam's out. He's out of WATCW forever, and Luke Hobbs will replace him. Likewise, should Black Adam be able to successfully defend his territory and his very existence as a contributing member of this locker room, Luke Hobbs will never be seen from again either. The stakes are as high as they get. Championship gold is great, but existing in the first place, pretty important as well. Yes, we'll call it the Rock Tumbler here. Incredible. Who wants it more? Who do you want to see going forward? We could do, you know what I haven't done in a long time? I think I did this in Early Mania. We could start doing polls. Let's do a poll. Create a new poll. Oops, I hit the mic. That was probably a terrible sound. Who will win? Black Adam or Luke Hobbs? Great. And we'll let that go for 2 minutes. Terrific. We'll do polls all night. Great. We already got one vote in. Luke Hobbs. The fans are already feeling Luke Hobbs. They've had enough of Black Adam. More trouble than he's worth. We want a new Rock in town. Well, folks, we'll see if that happens tonight. Ring the bell, and here we go. 1 Rock, 2 Rocks, maybe 2 Rocks too many. What's next? We're going to have, oh, dear Lord. What's his name? What's his character's name in Moana? Maui, that's it. Maybe we'll have Maui come in next. I can't wait to see what live-action Maui will look like. And once we do, maybe he'll come in. We'll have a triple threat. Oh, and the votes are all going towards Luke Hobbs. You hate to see it if you're a big Black Adam fan. A big Black Adam fan. And we all are, of course. Taking Luke Hobbs to the outside. You know, Black Adam has been one of those competitors who has been a staple of the league and somebody you can kind of rely on for a decent match here and there, but not somebody we've ever really seen in that main event spot to the best of my memory. I don't think we've ever seen a challenge for a title before, and who knows if he can secure his very existence here against Luke Hobbs, perhaps that could be in his future. Oh my goodness, what is he doing? Power bomb to the corner! Buckle bomb on the outside. Unbelievable. And Black Adam better get back in the ring or they're going to get counted out. I don't know what happens if they get counted out. I didn't really account for that, so to speak. I don't know if that means they both leave. I don't know if that means they both get to stay. But that's not happening quite yet. And look how spiffy the ref looks in his little bow tie. Wait a minute. Whose music is that? Who's coming down to the ring right now? If I wasn't mistaken, I think that might be Dom Toretto's music. But we haven't seen Dom Toretto in months. Wait, he's behind you! Look out! Whoa, wait! Unbelievable! Dominic Toretto! And the ref calls for the bell! What just happened? Dominic Toretto just interfered in the match, punched Black Adam in the head. Wait a minute, what does this mean? Dominic Toretto attacks Black Adam, which actually disqualified Luke Hobbs, which means Black Adam is the winner. I don't know if that in turn means Luke Hobbs is... Does that mean Black Adam gets to stay and Luke Hobbs has to leave? What does this mean? Dominic Toretto coming in, I think, in support of Luke Hobbs, surprisingly, two members of the Fast family. Also, what's going on? Chris Anthony Lopez in the chat asking whether he wrestled yet. No. Chris Anthony Lopez, that's a marquee match, my friend. You are coming much, much later tonight. Of course, Chris Anthony Lopez versus Nick Muhlbach in the Hell in a Cell tonight. Well, you know, I am the commissioner. I guess it is up to me. Dominic Toretto has to fight for Hobbs' fate, the fate of the Furious. I guess it is up to me. If I had more maneuverability in this would be the part where I come out and make this like a triple threat or something. But we don't really have those kinds of controls. So, folks, I don't know what to tell you. This was going to be a loser leaves WAT-CW match, but if you ask me, this feels far from over. To my surprise. Oh my goodness, we're just going to have to move ahead. Lackluster, I'm so sorry to say that. It was a lackluster match. Dominic Toretto coming in and screwing things up. Couldn't share the spotlight, or at least managed to see somebody else take it from the Fast family, and he had to come in and just interrupt it all for his own. He didn't really help anybody. He didn't really hurt anybody. He just got the attention back on himself. Oh, he couldn't share the ring or the spotlight with anybody, and we haven't seen Dominic Toretto in months. Not since really, I don't think since, what was it, maybe the God of Wrestling pay-per-view? I don't know. The Academy Awards, maybe? Unbelievable. Well, folks, perhaps we'll get to something a little more concise, a little more professional, a little more reliable here, because it's time for championship gold to be put on the line once more. We've got ourselves our team's championship match. I can't believe what happened there. That was a fucking mess. Who booked that? That was like some WCW booking. It's time for championship gold to be fought for in the ring. The Wrestle Real Tag Team Championship will be contested for, here come the challengers, Sean Wainblade and Jesse Swift, also known as Flick and Real. What's going on, Flick and Fanatics? This is actually a bit of a Really Mania rematch. We saw these two teams compete against each other months ago. At Really Mania, I believe Benny and Moose came up the winners in that one, and now Flick and Real will actually challenge Benny and the Moose for their freshly won Wrestle Real Teams Championships here tonight. We have, of course, Chris Anthony Lopez in the chat, one half of the most dominant WATCW tag team we've ever seen, the Kids at Heart, who ended tragically after the betrayal from Hollywood Muhlbach, and those two will fight one-on-one for perhaps the last time tonight in a Hell in a Cell match. But before we get there, we got to go here. Here comes Moose Haas wearing the purple strap. This will be the first time Benny and Moose have walked to the ring as the Wrestle Real Teams champions. And it is 4th of July. Wouldn't you know it? It's so good to see. They've been called the last American heroes. And it's a fitting title. I can actually hear fireworks going off outside, the pyro. It's very fitting. It's very patriotic. You can't hear it, but I tell you, Real American is playing in my headphones right now. I mean, this is what it's all about, folks. And I hope you're having a happy holiday. I'm excited to see Benny and Moose defend the belts. I mentioned Kids at Heart earlier, who were just so dominant over our team's division. It is kind of exciting, even though I regret and lament the way that team reached its conclusion. It is kind of exciting to see other teams get in here and fight over these belts. Benny and Moose and Flick and Real, two fantastic teams. This will be the first team's title defense for Benny and the Moose. Let's get another poll going, by the way. Let's do some more polls. Let's see. Where's the poll button? Here it is. Who will win? Who will win? Look at that purple belt. Incredible. Who will win? Brothers Low Moose or Flick and Real? Let's see what you guys think. Who's going to win between these two tonight? This is the first championship defense ever for Benny and Moose, so this is really where we see them put to the test. I've said it so many times And I'll continue to say it as long as it's true. It's one thing to win a belt in this league. It is such a different thing to defend a belt in this league. And Benny and Moose have the opportunity to prove themselves as truly one of the great teams going today by doing just that against Flick and Real, who likewise, the poll is split, by the way. Oh, it just eked out a little bit in favor of Brothers Low Moose, the reigning defending champions. But Justice Swift's got something else to say with a series of kicks against Big Moose Hoss. This is the first time Flick and Real have had the opportunity to challenge for the Wrestle Real Teams Championship. So, likewise, you got to be so hungry. You've got to want this so deeply, because an opportunity like this doesn't just come every single stream. And they've been fighting in both singles and teams for the last several. So, it is really up to them to make the most of this opportunity as Wingblade gets tagged in. Benny and Moose still enjoying the lead in our chat poll here. Oh, fantastic stuff. How's everybody been? How's everybody's holiday been? What y'all been up to? Any barbecuing? Any fireworks? I didn't do either of those things, but I'll tell you what I did do. I slept in really late. That was cool. Oh, Moose rolling to the outside. Needs to catch his breath. Tags in the great Brother Lomas here. A former compatriot of my own. Or Raddus, as I should say. I don't know anything about that. What a series of blows, just punching the absolute hell out of Jesse Swift. And the results are in. Brothers Low Moose predicted to be the winners. The chat thinks they will defend the belts successfully this evening. We will see, as this is a fairly competitive back and forth contest thus far. We'll see after that women's championship match, which was highly competitive, in which Becky the Wreck won and will begin her 4th title reign as women's champion in favor of the Nasty World. Said earlier, we'll also see the Rager challenge for the Twitch Championship, and Hollywood Muhlbach compete against the personality Chris Anthony Lopez in the Hell in a Cell. So we may not be sold out necessarily. We may not have NWO spray painted across our ring or on our belts. My camera might not be black and white anymore, and I'm so thankful for all those things, but we are still very much living in a nasty world, it seems. They're all up and down this card and have a lot to prove and a lot to win here tonight. Nice slam by Brother Lomas. Yeah, I just kind of slept in really late tonight, and then we just kind of hung out at the pool all day. We got a nice community pool down here, so we just hung out with the kids and splashed around a bit and sat around in the sun, which was very, very nice and relaxing. And then we came home, had dinner, and that was pretty much it. It was a very chill day, and that's really all I could ask or hope for, is a chill day, not so concerned about blowing shit up. Just trying to enjoy a little peace and quiet. I am back to work tomorrow, indeed. Just had today off. And I was happy to have today off. That was really the big thing. Just being able to take it easy, relax, hang out with family. Couldn't really ask for anything more. What a power bomb by Moose to Wingblade. Do you have tomorrow off? Do people generally have the 5th off too? I don't think I've ever had the 5th off, like, by default. Also, by the way, thank you, Kobe24_Joey, for the follow a couple minutes ago. I see you. Appreciate you. Thanks for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel. Yeah, no time off tomorrow. And then last night, I was supposed to stream this last night. Oh, big boot by Wingblade. I was supposed to stream this last night, but instead we ended up going to the movies, which I thought was fine, honestly. I didn't love it. I liked it. I didn't dislike it by any means, but I didn't love it either. I just thought it was kind of okay. I won't say too much because it's a pretty new movie, and obviously I don't want to spoil any aspect of it, but I thought it was a little too long for its own good. I thought a lot of scenes kind of dragged. Oh! Big DDT to Moose Haas on the outside, who I think even might be busted open a little bit. If I'm not mistaken, I think we might need to get the EMTs down here to... Yeah, absolutely. He is bleeding profusely from the forehead, and Swift capitalizing on that. The big super kick. What's going on, Matt, in the chat? Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for tuning in. Requested off because we had a work function to the Guardians game today. Oh, I see. So you had... Oh, what a... Over his head, throwing Swift around like a... Damn. Blade in. Fresh teammates going here to meet in the middle, and Lomas looking like he's going to keep the momentum in favor of the defending champions here tonight. Kind of work function of the Guardians game today. That's not a bad way to spend 4th of July, especially if you have tomorrow off. Day was all right. Working tomorrow too, just a chill day. Productive. Did a lot of cleaning. Drawing presently. Got a short story out for some proofreading this afternoon. That sounds like a fantastically productive day. Congratulations and good work to you, sir. What a DDT by Moose Haas. Goes for the cover. Defending the champ. Defending the titles, rather. Yeah, I thought Indy was all right. It's fine. I won't get too into sort of the nitpicky stuff I had with it because I don't want to spoil anything, but I just thought it was fine. And then we also saw we did a double feature. Been a long time since we did a double feature. We saw No Hard Feelings, the new Jennifer Lawrence comedy, which actually that was pretty funny. I didn't know what to expect from it, and actually that was pretty decent. Like, you know, again, nothing spectacular, but like as far as comedies go, it was like nice to see a kind of edgy rated R comedy that wasn't based on anything. Wait a minute, big swift maneuver there. New champs, hold the phone, everybody. Sit still. Hooks the leg. Where's Lomas? Oh! Flick and Real are the new team's champions. You gotta be kidding me. Where was brother Lomas to break up the pin? Jesse Swift with that swift maneuver. Unbelievable. Flick and Real have just scored the Wrestle Real Tag Team Championships. We're going to see it again. Lomas just stood on the apron, perhaps thought Moose was going to get out of it.
Here are your winners, and the new prestigious World Team Champions, the Nice Guys.
Oh, they're so nice. They're the nice guys. They are pretty nice. Man, Wingblade and Jesse Swift just won their very first championships here in WAT-CW at the behest of the brothers Low Moose. Kind of an upset, at least as far as our chat poll was concerned. I love when that thing covers up one of them. It's like the Mike Wazowski thing from where it, like, just one. You just get to see one with the belt. That's good enough. What a potential upset there as Flick and Real win the Wrestle Real Tag Team Championships, proving not only that they deserve this opportunity, but getting a little bit of payback, a little bit of justice after losing to the very same team months ago at Really Mania. And now it'll be Sean Wingblade and Jesse Swift who sport the prestigious purple strips. What a win, and congratulations to the new champions, as we've only seen belts trade hands tonight. It's been a very competitive show so far. There's Jesse Swift again. Unbelievable. Congrats to the new champions. Wow. What a victory. Wow. Now, there's going to be no respect, no honor in this one, folks. This is as personal as it gets. Long time coming. Adam says, what was that? I think he was very surprised by Flick and Real getting the win. Very interesting that Brother Lomas didn't break up the pin. He stood there on the apron like a good boy and just kind of watched it happen. Wow. Now, this one is very personal. We've got the debut. We talked about controversial competitors earlier. The debut of Quiz Show. Jeff Alterman, of course, a card-carrying member of the Watt family, finally making it to the ring tonight. Except. In his debut against Justin the Juice of What the Show. Oh boy, here he comes. What the show coming to the ring here? They've got the pinatas on hand. This is a storied rivalry all across the internet. Quiz show versus What the Show. And I thought, what better way to get Quiz Show in this game than by bringing the storied rivalry to our ring tonight. And I got all three of these guys in a group chat, and I said, who wants to be the first one to try and beat Quiz Show in the ring? And Justin the Juice was suggested as the natural decision. So that's who we've got. It's a one-on-one match, Justin the Juice versus Quiz Show, who will prove to be the true jabroni at the end of it. We'll see. He's got Mike Deacon and AJ Lancaster next to him, backing him up, the classic WTS posse. We got Metarect in the chat. What's going on, fella? Great to see you. Welcome in. Welcome to WATCW, our virtual wrestling league. Thank you for tuning in, Metarect, the true MVP. AJ Lancaster, here he is. Of course, stepping up, backing up Justin the Juice here, who's doing a little bit of shadow boxing in the pizza pants. Now here he comes for the very first time, ladies and gentlemen. Get your buzzers ready. It's Quiz Show. Look at him. He looks incredible. I wanted him to really have evil game show host energy, so I hope we accomplish that today. AJ's going to get that jacket custom made in real life. I'm sure he means the one that he's wearing, not this one, though I would love if he got this one too. Quiz Show. Jeff Alterman, of course, a great friend and contributor to What Real Entertainment. It was only a matter of time, long overdue, before I got him in the ring tonight, and what better way for him to start his promising career here than by competing against What the Show. Oh, how we doing in the US of A? We're doing all right. We're watching our friends wrestle each other, as well as some fictional characters tonight. That's what we do here in WATCW. So thank you for tuning in. I should get the poll going here, shouldn't I? This is going to be a big one. New poll. How are you doing, Meta? What's going on your fourth? I hope you're having a good one. Who will win? Quiz. Ooh, Quiz Show. Or Justin the Juice. There's the ring. And you can see Quiz Show taking the sparkly pink game show host jacket off. He's got the suspenders rocking. Now he's ready to throw down. Check the tail end of the VOD to see... Oh, the Muck Witch. Yeah, we got some Muck Witch back and forth between Meta and Dilly Tods. AJ and Chris Anthony. Lopez in the chat admiring the Quiz Show design. I'm glad to hear it. I've said this before, but sometimes you sit down and do one of these and you're just not sure. You're not really sure what you're going to do as far as the character design goes. I like to try to make people look as much like wrestlers as I can. And I was like, what do I do for Quiz? And I was like, I started off with a bow tie, and I started off with a suit setup thing. Is he okay? Mike Deacon, look out, he's coming for him. And then I found the Ted DiBiase jacket, and I kind of went from there, and I was like, okay, when he could take the jacket off and have kind of like a Happy Corbin thing going on. So that's what we got for Quiz here. We like the suspenders. Jeff is yoked. He is yoked. Not quite as Mark Zuckerberg, who we saw earlier in the evening. Mark Zuckerberg absolutely fucking ripped. And I'm so sorry to say this. I did get word that Elon Musk did perish on the way to the hospital after having his solar plex caved in by Mark Zuckerberg earlier this evening. He is unfortunately no longer part of this mortal coil. R.I.P. Jeff is Kingpin with hair in the ring. That's a great way to look at it. Yeah, he takes the Quiz Show jacket off, and he kind of becomes the Kingpin. He's all business, right? He takes it off, and now it's all business. It's time to fight. But he's got to keep those suspenders on, to keep his pants on. Keep your pants on, Jeff. We're doing all right today. Tired, but alive. What's going on our poll? 50-50. The poll is split 50-50. No advantages in the chat here tonight. Will it be Juice? Will it be Quiz? It's unclear. AJ and Mike Deacon forced to just stand on the sidelines and watch as he hooked him in that figure 4 leg lock. Working on bot stuff all dang day. I did enjoy sitting in on Meta's game design stream the other evening. And all the strange topics and things we came about in the process. Look, Meta, by the way, whenever we get friends in the chat, I'll say this. Meta, if you're ever interested in entering the ring here at WAT-CW, you too could become like Justin the Juice here in the pizza pants, or Quiz Show here in his kingpin suspenders. If you ever want to step in the ring, just say the word, Meta. You too could become a pro wrestler in WAT-CW. Ag my sciatica, quiz guy. Oh, my sciatica. Can Meta be my tag partner? Says Dilly. I'll leave that up to Metaract, of course, but oh my god, he's just demolishing the elbow. This is very personal. Again, if you guys don't know Quiz and Justin the Juice, I promise you, it's very personal, and they're actually threatening a count out here. They got to get back in the ring. They're ignoring the rules of the fight. Quiz sort of going into some sort of trance there in the corner. He gets back in the ring. There's the Juice. Quiz Show taking some time to showboat, and he almost paid for it, but quick reflexes there by Jeff Alterman. That back body drop. More than happy to offer up his likeness. Well, fantastic, Meta. We'll have to get to work. The question I always ask people when I add them to WAT-CW, and you don't have to have an answer right now, or maybe you do have an answer ready to go, but it's what 2 finishing moves do you want? I try to make sure everybody gets agency in their character by telling me what 2 finishers. I don't know if you're a wrestling guy at all. I don't know if you have answers prepared for that question. It's the biggest question I could ever ask you. What 2 finishers do you want? Justin the Juice kicks out of that one. And I do love the idea of Meta and Dilly becoming tag team partners. That would be something to see. Our tag team division always could use a new contender, and we saw Flick and Reel win the belts earlier tonight. And new challengers would be nice. Wow, what a flying knee by Quiz Show, who picks Juice up. This is so personal. A true vendetta. A feud based on nothing more than just pure disdain for each other. He's dragging Juice to the middle of the ring. The other members of What the Show looking on the outside. I think he's going to go for the cover here and try to end it. Could it be? No, Justin the Juice kicks out. And I got to tell you, this is a huge... Wait a minute, what is going on? Oh no, Quiz has got him hung up on the ropes. No way, no way. 619. Quiz Show with the 619 as he mocks the fans and the Juice. What an athlete. What a moment. Oh my god. Quiz is so close from ending this thing, I think. The Quiz 19. Yes, shades of the Mysterio-verse that's been haunting us. We'll see some Mysterios later tonight as well, don't you worry. Oh, holy shit, Juice got Quiz up in this gorilla press over his head. Damn, the Juice is loose. Slams him down, goes for the cover. Is that going to be enough to end the Quiz Show? No, Jeff kicks out. Jeff kicks out. Yeah, so we'll be visiting the Mysterio-verse tonight as well. Wait a minute, Justin the Juice! Locking in the Juice Box, sharpshooter, middle of the ring! Will Quiz Show tap? Will Quiz Show tap? He does! Quiz Show taps out! He submits to the Juice Box submission hold, and Justin the Juice is not the jabroni tonight. Unbelievable. The superstar picks up a huge victory here tonight. The suspenders weren't strong enough. What a gigantic victory for the Juice. And you can see Quiz Show dejected and disappointed walking to the back here. You hate to lose in your debut match. And I suspect the Quiz / What the Show rivalry will continue. But tonight, What the show are the victors as Justin the Juice made Quiz Show tap out in the middle of the ring. Chris loves the juice box. I just can't, sometimes they just come to me, those finisher names. You gotta remember that, the juice box. Oh, he's so disappointed, and I'm sorry to see it. I hate to see a friend upset, but Juice won that fair and square, and he is not the jabroni. With that amazing submission finish, and a singles match like that on pay-per-view at WAT-CON, no less, cannot be understated. That is huge for the Juice and the Pinata Party known as What the Show. Fantastic win, well-deserved, well-earned. He is, in fact, the jabroni. Now, here we go. It says 8-man, but it's actually 8-woman. And I said it earlier, we are, in fact, going to the Mysterio-verse tonight. Love it or hate it. I tend to hate it more often than not. But we have got an 8-woman Money in the Bank match here. What did we say, Meta? Fortunately, I've never watched wrestling. Oh, here you go. Welcome. Welcome to wrestling. But I have, however, watched a bunch of Macho Man clips with a big smile on my face. Missed the boat on the wrestling stuff. That's, you know what? You like Macho? You like the Macho Man. We can. That's all I need to hear. That's it. I'll make sure we do right by you. You like the Macho Man. I have to come up with an interesting character design for you, Meta. Obviously, I don't know you incredibly well. But don't worry, I think I'll come up with something for you. We'll come up with an interesting character design for Meta. We'll get you ready for the next wrestling stream, whatever that might be. Juice is loose. Squeeze it easy. The lady on the left that's like, why am I here? I didn't see who was it? Who was on the left? She-Hulk was here. I don't think it was She-Hulk. Who did you mean? My phone's like freezing up. Come on. Come on. Here they come. All right. She knows exactly why she's here. She's a monster. We got She-Hulk. Now, this is an 8-woman Money in the Bank match. Oh, the lady in the shoulderless wedding dress. That's Mother, of course. That's Mother. Let's talk about what exactly you're about to see here. We just saw Money in the Bank pay-per-view just a couple of days ago. Typically, the Money in the Bank briefcase is won in a ladder match. We will not be doing a ladder match tonight because the AI in this game is very, very bad, and a ladder match is liable to go on for hours if we were to let that play out. So instead, we have an 8-women elimination match. They will progressively eliminate one another by pinfall or submission, no disqualifications, until there is one woman standing left. When we did the men's Money in the Bank, we did a battle royal. This time, it'll be an elimination 8-woman match. The last one standing will win. Love the arena. Thank you, Chris. I liked how this one turned out. It didn't say where we were at the start of the stream, but I feel like we're in Orlando. It's got Orlando vibes for sure. Now this is, nobody has any reason to know who this is. This is actually her debut match. This is my OC, you could say. This is a creation of my own named Ava Shinigami, who she's actually been on the roster for months, but finally has debuted. This is a character I made for the career mode of WWE 2K. In my downtime, I started playing the women's career mode. I streamed a little bit of the men's career mode when I first picked up this game for the Rick Raddus stuff, but I wanted to do the women's one, so I had to create an OC, and I came up with this character named Ava Shinigami, who I became quite partial to as I played as her a lot. And I said, you know what? I got this character. I may as well just throw her in WATCW. So Ava Shinigami is now in WATCW. My OC, do not steal. Now here's somebody we all know and love. This is not my OC, but this is an OG, a PG, if you will, from Chicago, Illinois. Peggy Gubbins, who I don't think we've seen in quite a long time. Maybe not since really Mania, even. When she took on Rampage for Betty, who will also be participating in this match. We've got PG in the ring here who wants to secure an opportunity at that Money in the Bank briefcase. Never take advantage of an all-you-can-eat at a baseball game. Your body will revolt later. Thank you so much for letting us know, Matt. A disclaimer for everybody: do not take advantage of the all-you-can-eat at a baseball game. Oh, yes. OC, please do not seal. Chi-Town, stand up. And we do got Peggy B-Ball in the chat. What's going on, Peggy? Happy holiday to you. Happy 4th. I hope you're having a good one. Here comes, of course, the Boston Badass, Rampage for Betty. We all know and love Rampage for Betty here. A former women's champion. And let's talk about what exactly these women are competing for tonight. Maybe you don't know. Maybe you're like Meta and not quite familiar with pro wrestling. Is she allowed to do that? Yes, you are allowed to bring a bazooka to the stage. It is the 4th of July. You are allowed to fire off a bazooka on the stage as long as you don't bring it to the ring. I know, Meta, you're not familiar with wrestling rules. As long as you leave the bazooka up there, it's all fine and fun to me. Women tonight are fighting for the Money in the Bank briefcase or Money in the Bank contract, which dictates the holder of such gets a championship match whenever and wherever they want. So by winning this tonight, they will get an automatic women's championship match that they can cash in. And oh my God, look at this! They can cash in anytime, anywhere, even in the middle of an already existing match, immediately after a match, on the way to the parking lot after the show. Anytime they want, they can cash it in. And here we go. We're going back. We're going across the Mysterioverse again. Rey Mysterio, who made a very controversial debut on the last stream by attacking Catwoman, and then Woman and Batman and mixed tag action. The stream already. I see the stream kind of chugging along. Y'all still with me? We doing okay? Hope we're doing okay. Fucking Rey Mysterio. Chi-Town needs to sit the fuck down after losing that series to the Guardians this past. Oh God, Matt's such a like sports shit talker. From the official WAT account, no less. Lady Mysterio is wild. Yeah, Rey Mysterio. You know what? A portal opened up and she came. Here comes Catwoman, by the way. I wouldn't be surprised if that aforementioned rivalry, that personal rivalry between her and Rey Mysterio, didn't come into play in this 8-woman Money in the Bank match showdown here. She got crazy eyes. Attacking Catwoman along with Rey Mysterio and Rey Mysterio. Oh. The whole state. Now here's the... We were talking about it earlier. Here comes one of the great competitors we've got in this game. Mother, from the hit indie horror game Mothered, which I streamed several months ago. I couldn't believe nobody had made this character before in WWE 2K22. It was my pleasure to bring her to life in this plane of existence. Here comes Mother. Sorry, I'm just kind of at a loss for words sometimes. When I think about what I've done to this game, sometimes I just have to really reflect on it. Mother is here. And, wow, imagine a world in which Mother was Miss Money in the Bank. And this will be the first ever Miss Money in the Bank, whoever does win here this evening. Who is left? So many competitors here. Who's left? Oh, right, and we're speaking of debuting competitors. I'm playing Resident Evil 4 right now. I finished up Resident Evil 2 not too long ago. Here comes Miss Ada Wong. That sleuth. That sneaky little saboteur. That femme fatale, Ada Wong, making her debut. She's in here in this covert mission to extract the Money in the Bank contract. Secure a championship opportunity for herself later tonight. That's 2 debuting superstars. Oh my God, there's so many people in the ring. Holy shit, here we go. And again, this is elimination, which means If you are pinned or submit, you are out, and that will continue to go on until there's one woman left standing, and she will be called Miss Money in the Bank. No disqualifications, no countouts. It's going to be a hell of a match. Several former women's champions in the ring right now in the form of Rampage for Betty and She-Hulk. We've got two debuting superstars in the form of Ada Wong and Ava Shinigami. We've got fan favorite Mother. We've got Catwoman in there, who last stream thought she was one win away from a championship match, and now that is perhaps true for her once again. Wow, what a sunset flip from Rey Mysterio. She is Mother. She is all of us. What did she say? Hashtag not my mother. No, she's not all of us, evidently. Chris Anthony Lopez popping in the chat for Ada Wong, who's been a great advocate of my Resident Evil streams, watching the VODs on YouTube. I do appreciate you, Chris. Yeah, we got to get back to Resident Evil 4. I'm hoping maybe on Thursday, maybe? I don't know. I can't really promise this anymore, because whenever I tell you I'm going to stream, something happens and I don't stream these days, it seems. So, but yes, whenever I get back to this, it'll probably be for Resident Evil 4. No covert missions. Hashtag Mother did nothing wrong. Hashtag that I know of. Hashtag I wasn't there to assess it honestly. It is difficult to say whether Mother did anything wrong. Mother has always, just as far as I can tell, been doing her best. And she's going to do her best tonight as she picks up Peggy Dubbins and cradles her like a little baby. A little baby, and throws her down. Ada's a journalist. You're right. No, she works for the FBI, right? Matt's cheering for Rampage for Betty. I put a poll in the chat, but I think there's too many competitors to do a poll. I don't think we can do 8 options in a Twitch poll, or else I would run one right now. Just finished up part 2 of the RE4 remake earlier today. Gonna watch part 3 after this. Oh, thanks, Chris. And it brings me so much joy to know you're enjoying that. And watch the VODs on YouTube, no less. It's super cool. I am enjoying Resident Evil 4. I definitely have to get back to that. That was something else I meant to stream more of last week, and life just got in the way. Life finds a way, and it also gets in the way. Big DDT by Rey Mysterio. Peggy says she's kicking Catwoman's ass. It's true. There's a lot of women in the ring right now. It's very hard to pay attention to any one of them. I see Catwoman. Oh my God. Peggy is just raining fists of fury down on Mother. Oh, and I thought for a second there, my heart stopped. I thought Rey Mysterio was eliminating Rampage for Betty. Ada Wong with that giant top rope stunner to Ava Shinigami. Hooks the leg. Where's the ref? Where's the ref? Ava Shinigami kicks out. This is ferocious and competitive. Meta says, don't shake the baby. Mother doesn't do that. Mother knows what she's doing. And Rey Mysterio hooks the leg on PG Peggy Gubbins. Kicks out. Who will be the first elimination tonight? That's the real question. What the hell was that over there? Ada Wong, I cannot get a word in edgewise. Hooks the leg on Ava Shinigami. Ava Shinigami kicks out. Rampage for Betty hooking the leg on She-Hulk. Ref, turn around! Ref, pay attention! The ref can't quite figure this out either. One, too many women competing at the same time. What a suicide dive! But Ada Wong, I think I might pass out trying to call this action play-by-play style. Holy shit, with that 620 spin elbow drop by Rampage for Betty. And for all my money, that would have been the end of the She-Hulk's place in this match had she not gotten the rope break. What's going on, Rey Mysterio? Oh, wow, that was... Rey Mysterio was setting up something massive. The camera was zoomed in on her. It was ready to show it off, and I think she just got tripped up by one of the other 7 women in the ring right now. Thank God I did get that PS5. I mean, can you imagine trying to run this on PS4? And you will notice all the fans in the first, 5 rows are paralyzed in awe here. So it's not running perfectly by any means. But can you imagine how bad this would be fucking chugging along if I was running this on the PS4? No way. Ada with the crazy corkscrew move. That was something to see. Unfortunately, she didn't quite hit it. Nobody on the outside to receive it. Now Mother's going to try to eliminate former champion She-Hulk. Doesn't quite get it. She-Hulk, also somebody we haven't seen a lot of since she lost the belt to... Wow, what a... Mommy! Lost the belt to Becky the Wreck Raddus back at the Academy Real Awards. Good, I need to get a sip of water. The relentless aggression of these women, the steady application of violence, and well said, Dilly Todds. Now the fans are loving this match, and how could you not? Just non-stop action. Who will be the first to get eliminated in this 8-woman Money in the Bank match? I mean, the opportunity that it's afforded the victor here. Wow, huge frog splash from Rey Mysterio to Mother. Hooks the leg, middle of the ring. Say it ain't so, Mother.
A competitor has been eliminated.
Mommy, no. Mother has been eliminated. She tried her best. She did everything right. But Mother will not be named Miss Money in the Bank tonight, as she must sadly walk to the back. And this match will continue with the remaining 7 competitors. Meta's so sad. Meta cannot believe it. He's yelling in grief that Mother's been eliminated. So we're down to Rampage Ravetti, Ada Wong, Rey Mysterio, Catwoman, She-Hulk, Peggy Gubbins, and Ava Shinigami here. What a lineup of competitors. And whoever wins this will get that championship match anytime, anywhere. In a world where it's been near impossible to knock Becky the Wreck Raddus off the top, that is the kind of opportunity. Holy fuck, did you see Peggy with that knee to She-Hulk on the outside? Jesus, that woman might be green, but she's going to be black and blue after a move like that, that's for sure. Everyone's spread out here. Now, you do have to get in the ring to make an elimination in this Money in the Bank match. That still is true. You cannot eliminate competitors on the outside. You can certainly stay on the outside and beat the shit out of each other as much as you please, but you do have to get back in the ring in order to eliminate one. Whoa, look at that corkscrew from Ada Wong. Hooks the leg on Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio kicks out. It will be something to eliminate a high-flying luchadora. Holy shit! What a move by Ada Wong! I can't believe she's not hooking the leg after that. That was like a tombstone code breaker. A tomb breaker, if you will. Look at this. Wow, Ada Wong striking a pose as she pins the Boston Badass. Oh, and just barely gets out of it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Peggy, now it's still taking it to She-Hulk in the ring. She-Hulk's going to actually have to roll out. And what do you... Oh, here we go. A tale as old as time. A rivalry for the history books as Rampage for Betty and PG Peggy Gubbins tie up in the ring once more. Not the first time, and I'm sure it won't be for the last time here. Rey Mysterio taking it to Ada Wong here, who, yes, is cocky as fuck. Meta wants to sleep, but he's invested in this High Intensity match. Oh, you can't go to bed on WAT-CON? You can't go to bed during WAT-CON. Oh, no, I just fucking... Hold on. I just knocked my controller off and unplugged my headset. Hold on. Hold on, I gotta get... Okay, can you hear me again? Can you hear me again? Ladies and gentlemen, let's see. I'll do my own audio check here. Can you hear me again? Okay, you can hear me. Correct. Great. I knocked the controller off. The PlayStation's a little goofy with this stuff. You knock the controller off, and then which unplugged my headset. And then when you plug a headset in to the PlayStation, it automatically assumes that your headset is also your micro. It's weird. Like, it changes your headset to your input and your output device. And so, like, it's not worth getting into. In any case, we're back. Excuse me for getting so excited and knocking my controller off the table here, but we are back. We still have 7 women here in this elimination match, which is so enthralling that, Meta can't even go to bed! What a knee there to Ada Wong's face! Yeah, don't touch that dial and do not go to sleep. Not quite yet as Ava Shinigami hooks Ada Wong's leg! 8-1.
Eliminated.
Eliminated by Ava Shinigami. One debuting superstar eliminates the others, and I know Chris Anthony Lopez is going to be so sorry to see that. Whoa! Now, you don't know much about Ava Shinigami being my OC. Holy shit, look at that spiral cutter. Catwoman's out.
Has been eliminated.
Ava Shinigami lining them up and knocking them down, folks. My OC. Perhaps a little OP, my OC, from looking at this. She's a high flyer, and she is a very deadly competitor here. And what a debut it would be to come in here, outlast 7 competitors, and declare yourself Miss Money in the Bank. Yeah, that spiral, I don't even know what you call that spiral cutter. It's a hell of a maneuver. But Peggy's not impressed, sending Ava back down to the mat to that modified powerbomb. We're down to 5 women. Rey Mysterio, She-Hulk, Rampage Rebelli, PG Peggy Gummins, and Ava Shinigami. One of these competitors will in fact be called Miss Money in the Bank when the bell rings and get a championship match whenever she pleases. Ava doing a little showboat to the crowd and paying for it dearly as Becky just rains down palms, fists, and knees. And a nice German suplex for good measure. Peggy going up top. Could it be? Points to the sky. Diving! Oh, didn't quite get all of it. Oh, went for a diving elbow drop, but didn't quite get it. But it's not missing a beat. Is staying on top of Ava Shinigami, who, as far as I can tell, with 2 eliminations, is really the one to beat here. If I'm the other ladies in this match, I'm thinking of maybe getting her out first and foremost. It might increase everybody's chances of victory here. Meanwhile, on the outside, She-Hulk and Rey Mysterio really going at it. Oh my god, can you imagine a world in which Rey Mysterio is missing Money in the Bank? I've seen enough of this Rey Mysterio nonsense. We really need... Can you imagine one of them getting the belt? PG hooks the leg on Rampage Rebelli and eliminates her!
Has been eliminated.
Peggy Gummins just eliminated Paige Rebelli. And we talked about Revenge and Justice earlier for that really Mania victory Paige enjoyed months ago. That is huge for PG Peggy Gummins, who is now taking it with these belly-to-belly suplexes. Going back up top. Can she get it this time? Middle of the ring. Diving elbow drop. To Ava Shinigami. Hooks the leg. Oh, my God. I can't believe it. I think Peachy's going to go do it again. Don't touch that dial. Your eyes don't deceive you. Another one, but Ava Shinigami rolls out of the way. Spike DDT. Oh, now it's Ava Shinigami going up top. Could it be? Shinigami Star Press. Hooks the leg to eliminate Peggy Gummins. Is she going to get it? Oh, my God. Peggy Gummins kicks out. What's it going to take? What's it going to take? Oh, spiral cutter. Spiral cutter to PG, and that's got to be it for Peggy. And it is. I'm so sorry to say it, Peggy B-Ball. Ava Shinigami knocks another one down. Matt says Peachy finally gets over on Paige, and Peggy says, "I beat her already." That's true. She beat her already in reality. Okay. In movie trivia reality, where it matters the most. But virtually in the ring, brother. That was the first time Peggy had gotten one over on Rampage Rebelli. Like I said, it's a rivalry as old as time. I'm sure we haven't seen the last of it. But Ava Shinigami sadly eliminated PG Peggy Gummins, and we're down to 3 competitors here. 3 fictional characters. Do you know I love it when fictional characters win Money in the Bank? We need more women competitors that are people I actually know. We need more like streamers and podcasters and friends on the women's roster, so it's not completely populated by Rey Mysterio. You know what I'm saying? It was a valiant effort on the part of my digital likeness. I appreciate the homage. I appreciate you existing in the game, Peggy. You're a real one. It was a valiant effort. I gotta say, I tried not to play favorites here as your commissioner and commentator, but I was really starting to buy into the Peggy Gubbins story there. Would have loved to have seen PG with the Money in the Bank briefcase, but it's down to these three here now. It's either going to be Rey Mysterio, former Women's Champion She-Hulk, or the debuting Ava Shinigami. These two look like they both want a piece of Shinigami. Who's going to get it first? It's She-Hulk! Who's going to pin her with one big boot? Oh, and she does it. Oh, you got to be kidding me. I do not like where this is going. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Oh, my OC, Ava Shinigami eliminated. That breaks my heart. Oh, my God. Rey Mysterio hooks the leg. Don't. No. Oh. I try not to play favorites. I try to be bipartisan here at the commentary table, but I do not want to see Rey Mysterio with that Money in the Bank briefcase. Rey Mysterio goes up top. Frog splash! You gotta be fucking kidding me, dude. Don't you dare. Come on, kick out of it! You gotta be kidding me. God damn it all. Rey Mysterio is Miss Money in the Bank. We've traveled inside, across, and beyond the Mysterio-verse, and I'm starting to fear and believe that we will never get out of it, because Rey Mysterio will now get a championship match whenever and whenever she wants.
Luchador, Rey.
There you have it, folks. Wow, she really came into this league like a lightning bolt, like a wrecking ball even. The undefeated Rey Mysterio. Wow, 5 stars. The fans love that one. Greatest of all time. The undefeated Rey Mysterio now Miss Money in the Bank and could cash in. If you're Becky the Wreck Raddus, you got to be shaking your head in the back there, and I'm right there with you, sister. The Old Spice replay. Yeah, we're of course sponsored by Old Spice. I hope I don't get banned on Twitch for having that burned-in sponsorship back there. Rey Mysterio is fucking lit. No, she's not. Honestly, it makes me want to purchase their products. I'm already on Amazon. Terrific. Yeah, use promo code WAT-CON when you're buying your stick of deodorant or your body wash at oldspice.com. What's up next? Oh, shucky ducky. Here we go. Here we go. From Money in the Bank to a championship opportunity right here, right now. What do we think of Money in the Bank, by the way? I know we got a couple wrestling heads in the chat. What do we think of the Money in the Bank pay-per-view on Saturday? Feels like we could talk about that a little bit, considering we are, in fact, watching a wrestling game. But before I get into that, Chris said, fuck all these guys, TBH. So true. This is a Twitch championship triple threat. I knew I wanted to see. Nick's been just such a dominant champ. Slick Nick has been unstoppable, unbeatable. I think has had 3 consecutive defenses, which is very, very hard to do. Oh, here we go. Very hard to do. And last time we saw him successfully defend against Featured Films, friend of the channel. Get this piece of shit coming down to the ring here. By himself. Been a while since we've seen Rick Raddus come to the ring by himself. I knew I wanted to give Slick Nick a true challenge and a triple threat. And after the last stream, I actually went and looked at the Twitch division standings. And Matt, believe it or not, Matt Thomas was the new #1 contender. I suppose after enjoying his singles victory over Machine Gun Kelly. And then we had Rick Raddus here, who, to my surprise, was the sole survivor at the end of the last wrestling stream, which was just a hell of a thing. And I thought, there's no way I can just ignore that. I have to do something with that. And that's how we get here, a triple threat match for the Twitch Championship. Here you go, Rager. It was very impressive what you did last time. Now, mind you, I talked to the Rager a little bit before we started here, and he's actually not very pleased with this match. And to the Rager, he won that match for his team by pinning Nacho Libre. And Nacho, of course, is going to be competing for the world title later tonight My understanding is Rick believes he should be competing for the World Championship. But I said, pump the brakes, Rick. I'm going to give you a Twitch title shot. It's going to be a triple threat. And it's going to be against... this is really the battle for Cleveland, Ohio right here. Matt Thomas, of course, teamed up with Rick Raddus. I never thought I'd see the day when the Rager and the Master would end up on the same team. But we were kind of in Bizarro world last time. It actually came down to the two of them. The Seaman Demon was eliminated. Hollywood Muhlbach was eliminated. And it actually came down to the Rager and the Master teaming up together last time. And ultimately they did bring the W home for their team. But now, no love lost in that ring. All alliances broken. It is a triple threat, every man for himself match. And that man, at the end of the... when the bell rings, will be Twitch champion. Oh, the Master retirement match. Matt always loves to say he's... Matt, thinks he's one loss away from retiring forever. But here's the thing, Matt's been on kind of a win streak. That's what's so surprising, because he had such a hard time for weeks on this show. But he's been kind of on a win streak. It's not a fluke that he's here. And speaking of win streaks, look at this guy. You know, I love to call Walter White the most dominant world champion we've ever seen, and that might be true, but I think Slick Nick Harley might be the most dominant champion we've ever seen, period. Since he won that belt off Suge Knight 323 many, many months ago, he has been unstoppable and undefeatable, always coming out on top, proving himself as the slickest player in the game, defended that belt against featured films at Sold Out successfully, actually ended that match with a handshake. A bit of a turn of face, perhaps, for Slick Nick, but he's looking as slick as ever. And I expect the classic bag of tricks when it comes to the reigning and defending Twitch champion here, Slick Nick Harley. Matt is going to bed. Off to lurk. I'll have to keep an eye out for the next one. Thank you for watching, Meta, and I do appreciate you still lurking. We'll get you ready to go for the next one. We'll get you in the ring next time. Don't you worry. I appreciate you hanging out. Look at the Ranger. Matt's dialed in. Nick's ready to defend the belt. This is going to be a hell of a triple threat championship match. The sole survivor, the Rager, Rick Raddus, motherfucker's got two nicknames. And what do you know? Oh, look at Nick showboating, not even bothering to get involved. He's going to let these two kind of run around the track for a bit first. And wouldn't you know it, the slick one is in the chat. Happy 4th of July, my friend. Past my bedtime, but I'm here to watch the powers that be try to stop the slick one's legendary reign. Crazy to see WAT-CON at the Watt Amphitheater. Yeah, that's right. In Orlando, Florida. Nick says, retire, bitch. Chris wants Nick to stack pin Rager and Matt. Well, it would be the first successful stack pin we've seen the past week, because we did not see that happen at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, of course. Let's get a poll going, why don't we? This will be a fun time to do a poll. Who will win? Let's see. Slick Nick, Matt Thomas, or Rick Raddus. Let's see. Start the poll. Let's see what the chat's feeling tonight. First vote in early for Rick Raddus. Yeah, we did not see a stack pin at Money in the Bank. That match, that main event match, the Bloodline Civil War, that shit was cinema. That was Kino. I was so deeply invested in that, and what a moment for the Usos. That was so fantastic to see. I will still maintain Roman should have lost the belt at WrestleMania. Whoa, what a swanton by Slick Nick. Those titles have been a non-factor in the storyline with him and the Bloodline. He's not defended the belt since WrestleMania. And it doesn't look like he's going to lose it at SummerSlam. I don't know what they're going to do. Hold on. Raddus got Slick Nick in a modified crossface here. There's a lot of history between Rick Raddus and Slick Nick Harley. I don't know if you know this, but it said they grew up together in the same dive bar alleyway. Their dads would hang out inside, of course, and they would play dice in the back alley behind the club. And they really learned a lot of the same tricks back there. So amazing to see them competing in the same ring. All three men here have a lot of history with one another. This really is kind of the battle for Cleveland, Ohio, and the Twitch Championship. Slick Nick starting to enjoy a bit of an advantage in the chat. End of days, wait a minute, hooks the leg! And if this were a singles match, folks, I think that would have been a successful title defense right there. Slick Nick is fighting fiercely to bring that belt home here on this hot 4th of July here at WAT-CON. Never forgive the Oh my, wait, hold on. I love the idea that Knicks fans are called spoiled children. That's amazing. I'll never forgive WWE for not putting the belts on Cody at WrestleMania. It's what I'm saying, man. As of yet, I see no reason that shouldn't have happened. I think that could have happened, and you could be telling the exact same story. Now, Rager and Nick just fighting back and forth. Fisticuffs on the outside. Raddus sporting a little bit of a crimson mask. Now back in the ring to hit a big springboard elbow on the Master. Taking a little time to Too Sweet. Nick's just kind of barking at him on the outside there. And now it's time for them to go to town on the Master here. Nick is just unleashed. Of course, no secret he is not happy about having to look at standing coup de grace, defend this belt in a triple threat match. Feels that the establishment, the powers that be, working against him. And I do see that Slick Nick did in fact win the poll. The chat thinks we're going to see a successful title defense. Wait a minute! Raddus with the big kiss goodnight. Big smooch to Matt Thomas, but Nick breaks it up. That's the thing about a triple threat. You got to pick your moment. And you gotta pick the time to kick. They call him Slick Nick. What about Kicked Nick? Oh my god. Once again lighting up the chest of the slick one of the defending champion. And Raddus is taking Nick up as well. Unbelievable. Yeah, it's not, you know, you can hit your finisher. You can beat the hell out of each other. Another one. Big kiss goodnight. Somebody's gonna come home with mono. Oh, these big kisses getting delivered in the ring. You got to pick your spot, though. It's not enough to just beat each other up because there's always somebody on the other side of the ring ready to break up that pin attempt. You got to really find the moment. Oh, here we go. The Master Lock. Well, there already was a Master Lock in wrestling, so. Oh, no, Nick, what are you doing? Nick's tight. You got to break up that hold. You got to break up that hold, Nick. Oh, my God. Oh, that's the kind of stuff that makes you clinch up. He's doing... Nick, what are you doing? Nick's showboating while Matt goes for the pin. That was dire. Spoiled children or spoiled brats. Oh, here we go. You've heard of the Master Hand. What do you know about the Master Elbow? And Slick Nick is stunned on the outside. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Matt's going to hook the leg. No way. Not like this. The Rager just barely kicked out. That's the sole survivor there for a reason, folks. And now the Master's going to take flight. Huge splash. Hooks the leg again. But here comes the spoiler. Wait a minute. No, there he is. They wanted Roman to hit 1,000 days. Yeah, they did. They did, I get it. I mean, like, nobody else will ever probably do that as long as any of us are alive, right? They just wanted to be able to say somebody did that. But, like, is that good enough reason? You just wanted to be able to say somebody did that? They had to completely restructure the entire hierarchy of championships in the WWE to, like, support the fact that Roman still has those belts. They had to come up with a new championship for somebody else to hold, and then also had to completely restructure the women's championships to mirror it, because it didn't make any sense to have the Raw Women's Champion on SmackDown and the SmackDown Women's Champion on Raw. Just a mess. Just a mess. Wait a minute! End of days! End of days! Hooks the leg on Matt to defend the title! Oh. And where did the Rager come from? This match was so nearly over. A huge lariat to Nick, and now Rager's looking at Matt. Nick stunned on the outside. Could it be? Rager dialing it in. 1. The hepatitis is rampant in the ring. Well, that's always true when you got Big Daddy Rick competing. And could it be it is? 3 amigos, 3 R's. Hooks the leg, middle of the ring. New champion. Not like this. Oh! No way! The Rager pins Matt Thomas to become the new Twitch champion. Not like this. No! Chris can't believe it. Nick can't believe it. Dilly reveals himself as the Raddus vote.
Here is your winner.
No way!
World Internet Pro Wrestling Champion.
Whoa!
Bad Boy Rick.
I've never seen that one before. He threw the ref out of the ring. Unbelievable. The sole survivor, the Rager, and the new Twitch champion. Playing a sick fucking solo on it. Wow. Yucking it up. The yuckiest yuck up I've ever seen. And I did see Metro and Ava 21 redeeming the hydrate, and I will redeem it after calling that match. Jesus. Oh, Chris fucking hates it here. Matt wants to retire, and the spoiler is protected, but not by not taking the pin. You are right, Nick. Wow, the Rager is the new Twitch champion. It's all coming up. Nasty World tonight. Becky got the belt back. Ricky won the Twitch championship. Unbelievable. And of course, you have to imagine, it writes itself. Slick Nick, of course, will be getting an automatic rematch on the next stream. And they'll go one-on-one. That's right, Nick does have an automatic rematch. Exactly, Matt. So you know next time we go live, the spoiler will return to challenge the Rager in one-on-one Twitch Division Championship action. That is going to be a hell of a showdown. I look forward to the prospects of potential promo work. And that one, as Bloody Rick flexes in the ring. Man, the Rager has we're really in a Rager-sance, a Rick-a-sance lately with the way the sole survivor and then winning the Twitch title. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And Nick's off to bed. I'm so sorry for you to have to witness something like that right before bedtime, Nick. I hope you can rest easily and relax and wind down on this holiday, and don't take it too personally. You will certainly get another chance at the Twitch title, my friend. What a title reign by Slick Nick. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. What a match. Congratulations to the Rager. I have to say it. The new champion. Oh, boy. Gotta tweet this one out, folks. Here it is. Perhaps the only thing bigger than a championship match is the conclusion to a blood feud like we've never seen before in this league. It's the first ever Hell in a Cell in WAT-CW history, baby. Hollywood Nick Muhlbach versus the personality Chris Anthony. I wish we had like a WWE-esque, let's see how we got here backstory replay, because this feud is certainly deserving of it. And it is deserving of the first ever Hell in a Cell. This is the last Nasty World match tonight. They're 2-0 tonight. 2-0 Daddy-O. Becky the Wreck winning the Women's Championship. The Rager winning the Twitch Championship. And now Nick has an opportunity to bring it home in the Hell in a Cell against his former partner and brother, the personality, Chris Anthony Lopez. Oh, thank you for the follow, Metro and Ava. Appreciate you. We want to stream this game as a couple, but Metro is way better than me. Ava, that would be an interesting way to approach WWE streams. Like, you would compete against each other. Maybe you could do, like, GM mode. I never did GM mode on this. Maybe if I had somebody to compete against, I would try it. But I'm too engrossed in universe mode in my own little fucking world here. Hollywood, Nick Muhlbach. Let's talk about this match. Nick Muhlbach and Chris Anthony Lopez, formerly known as the Kids at Heart. Brothers in Arms, the most dominant tag team we'd ever seen. The inaugural Wrestle Real Teams champions. Held it for months. I believe they had 3 or maybe even 4 consecutive defenses before losing it to Revolt Insanity. They won the belts back in short order and then, in turn, lost them again to Jay and Silent Bob. And seemingly after that second loss, Nick Muhlbach fucking snapped and aligned himself with the Semen Demon and the Rager Rick Raddus to form the Nasty World Order. And since that happened, here comes Chris Anthony Lopez with vengeance in his eyes and a insatiable hunger for retribution. This is not the Chris Anthony Lopez we're used to seeing. Usually, he's loud and he's fun. They don't call him the personality for nothing. But tonight, it's all about justice in that ring. And I fear for what these men may do to each other. It's so personal after Hollywood Muhlbach betrayed and beat down his brother, Chris Anthony Lopez, to form the NWO. And since that team was birthed, they have been such a thorn in Chris Anthony Lopez's side. They have mocked him. They have beaten him. At every turn, it has been a brutal numbers game. But the numbers don't lie tonight, as Scott Steiner famously has said. No numbers to contend with. Chris and Nick will be locked in that cell. They will go one-on-one with each other. No interference, no disqualification, and these two will have the opportunity to beat each other once and for all. We will see who truly is the better man, the better competitor. Nick believes he carried the Kids at Heart. Chris thought they were a true partnership, a family, and Chris is just laying it out, going up top immediately. They are locked in there. Holy shit, look at that. that corkscrew Hurricane Rana, what do you call that? Metro and Ava, we never streamed as a couple, and if we go against each other, we know he would win. Great stream, but I have to go get ready for bed. Gotta be up at 5:45. That's terrible! Have a good night. Well, good night, and a happy 4th to you. Thank you for tuning in as well, and for the follow. Hope to see you in future streams, and I will have to keep an eye on your channel as well. See if you stream this game in the future. It's always fun with the wrestling streams on here. That's true. Chris knocked out Nick Muhlbach in the Soul Survivor match last stream. Even though it was the Nasty World who ultimately came out victorious in that match, Chris did knock out Nick Muhlbach. That's the thing. Chris always seems to have Nick's number anytime they come face to face. When they brawled across the arena last time, Chris proved victorious in that as well. But it's always the numbers game. I just noticed that baseball bat's in the ring. I was too busy reading chat. The bat is actually in the ring. That is incredible. Oh my god, I think Nick just dropped Chris. Fuck, and you gotta really wonder what Nick wants to accomplish here. What he wants to prove. Of course, Chris is fighting for his life. He's fighting for his reputation. He's fighting for justice. But what really is in it for a man like Hollywood Muhlbach, who just dropped Chris on his head again? Unbelievable. We gotta get a poll in the chat, don't we? Let's see. I'm almost scared to ask, but let's find out who will win. Hollywood Muhlbach, the personality. Chris Anthony Lopez. Start that poll. Oh my god! I look back and Nick is just wailing away at Chris with that baseball bat. Chris is his own weapon he brought down to the ring, and Nick is just wailing away at him. Goes for the cover. Please not like this. Chris kicks out after a brief 1 count. Jesus. Happy 4th to you as well. We'll be back together soon. I'll tell him to come check it out. Hell yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you, Metro. Metro and Ava. This is so personal. And Nick, like I said, doesn't have anybody else to rely on today. He's going to have to back up everything he's put Chris Anthony Lopez through in that cell. No one is coming to save him tonight. And Chris thankfully able to rebound after that insane baseball bat beatdown. Chris going back up top again. Oh! Some sort of modified drop kick there. Didn't quite get all of it. First votes coming in. Chris has the advantage in the chat. We're thinking we'll see Chris Anthony Lopez finally get the justice he's been fighting for. And now it's Chris' turn to pick up the bat and bring it down on the skull of Nick Muhlbach, busting him wide open, folks. Busting him open. Nick tries to rebound with that moonsault. And we have, it's no surprise here, this is Hell in a Cell. Nick is bleeding from the head. Woo! Big chop. Now it's Nick's turn to go up top. What's he thinking? Wow, what a corkscrew! Hooks the leg, looking for the win here. Chris kicks out. Chris kicks out. And we've seen Chris fight through so much pain. Diving elbow drop. Chris rolls out of the way. And if you believe in justice, if you believe in good, you gotta hope Chris comes out of this one the winner. I just can't imagine a world in which Nick comes out of this saying it was worth it. I'm glad I did what I did when I betrayed my brother in arms. When I joined the dastardly demon and the Rager. Now Nick picks up that bat. Oh! Chris pulls it away! Back and forth. That bat has been such a factor in this Hell in a Cell match. And you know Chris hoped it would. Spike DDT to the mat. Hooks the leg again. No rope breaks in a cell match. Oh, big 2 count, but Chris manages to escape and kick out of that one. Oh no, not this. We've seen so many men tap to this. The calf crusher. Nick locks in that signature move. Oh, Chris fights out of it. And thank God, this match will continue. This will go as long as it needs to, folks. No, 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 no. Oh, Muhlbach clash! Muhlbach clash! No! Not like this! No! No! Oh. No. You gotta be kidding me. It truly seems like nobody kicks out of the Muhlbach clash. And I'm so sorry to say that's still true for Chris Anthony Lopez here tonight. Damn it! Damn it all to hell! Son of a bitch!
Here is your winner, Unbreakable Nick Maverick.
Unbelievable. Is there no justice left in this world? Is there no good left to be found? What do we have left to believe in? To fight for? When Hollywood Nick Muhl, it's not very good. The nasty world. What reason do we have not to be nasty? Based on the display that we've seen this evening. We have to believe in something better, something more. And that man doesn't stand for a damn thing. Unbelievable. I've sat idly by and commentated and booked matches, all believing that the story would end happily. That we would get the happy ending that we deserve, that Chris Anthony Lopez deserves. But apparently the good guys don't always get to win. I'm ashamed. Unbelievable. This is what I need. Something. I need a palate cleanser. I need something. I need something to restore faith in the world. I need a mixed tag match between Oppenheimer and Barbie. That's what I need. That's exactly what I got. I can't... Oh my God. I can't believe that happened, and I can't believe it happened that quickly. I ran a test run of that Hell in a Cell match, and it was like... a fucking saga. And then, of course, when I'm actually live, it just ends like that. Unbelievable. I'm so sorry. I see how disappointed Chris is in the chat. And I can't blame him. I'm disappointed too. But maybe we can at least enjoy a little mixed tag action between J. Robert Oppenheimer, Gene Tatlock, and Barbie and Ken. We can all get behind this, can't we? A little palate cleanser before our main event tonight. Here he comes. The man behind the atomic bomb. Of course, the battle of the box office we'll be seeing later this month. Oppenheimer and Barbie releasing on the same day. It's been the cultural touchstone for months. But before those movies are released, we're going to give them an opportunity to really bring momentum to their side in the form of this mixed tag match. Oppenheimer and Barbie. Wow. I know you can't hear it, by the way, but Oppenheimer's music is Seth Rollins' Burn It Down. What a choice. And he's working to the crowd, and they don't seem too pleased to see Oppenheimer. Perhaps everybody's bought their tickets to Barbie instead. Now this. Now, I gotta tell you this. I said the same thing about Mother. I definitely gotta think I'm the first person to ever make Gene Tatlock in a WWE game. I think I'm the first one. I don't think anybody's ever done this before. This is, of course, not WATCW competitor Florence Pugh. Not to be confused. I know they do look a little similar. That's not Florence Pugh. Don't be ridiculous. That's Gene Tatlock. Associate and I believe occasional lover of J. Robert Oppenheimer. Well, you know, I wanted Barbie versus Oppenheimer, but you cannot do intergender singles matches in this game. You can't have men and women fight each other. I think you can do that in the new AEW game, mind you, but not in this game. So we had to get a little creative and go with some mixed tag action. So we're tagging in Gene Tatlock to face the Barbie and Ken duo, the iconic duo. Let's get another poll going. I can't believe it. I'm reeling from that. Here we go. Here's something fun we can all enjoy. It's Ken! I can take a little credit for everybody, all these creator wrestlers. A little credit. I downloaded a Ryan Gosling creator wrestler and turned him into Ken. I downloaded a Margot Robbie creator wrestler and turned her into Barbie. Oppenheimer was a Thomas Shelby creator wrestler from Peaky Blinders, which I retrofitted into Oppenheimer. And, of course, there's so many Gene Tatlock creator wrestlers all over community space. Everybody wants to wrestle as Gene Tatlock. Here's Ken, of course, played by Ryan Gosling and Barbie later this month. He looks incredible in the Canadian tuxedo there, sans sleeves. Oh no, I think Chris is tweeting through it. After that match, I have to step away. I'll be back, WATCW. No! With the Becky Lynch gif. Poor Chris. I sympathize. I feel for him. I hate that it went the way that it did. I won't say I'm more disappointed than anybody, but I'm certainly I'm high. I'm chief on the list here. I'm up there. And I'm also up there in Barbie fans, I gotta say, because look at this. This is terrific. It's just a little palate cleanser before our main event here. This mixed tag match. Barbie and Ken versus Oppenheimer. I try to book these like WWE pay-per-views now. I used to go non-title matches, and then the last 4 matches are all title matches. But you know, there's a rhythm to this. There's sort of a poetry. There's a recipe we're crafting here with these wrestlers. And you don't want to just cash in all your chips at the end. So we've got a little bit of I expected the Hell in a Cell in many ways could have been the main event. But the title match we've got at the end of all this is just so legendary. I think it's got to go on last. So we got a little bit of a palate cleanser here between Barbie and Ken and Oppenheimer and Gene Tatlock. Not a lot of action in the poll here. No, the chat abstained from this. The chat abstained from voting on this match. I don't know if that means nobody's buying tickets to Barbie and Oppenheimer, or if everybody bought tickets to both. Maybe just no one's feeling biased or partial. Chris is texting me. He's not happy. Holy shit, a series of shoot kicks there from Oppenheimer to Ken. Oppenheimer keeping the hat on him. I feel like the hat is such a big part of all of Oppenheimer's marketing, so I don't know what happens. You can't take that hat off. Maybe you just... If you do, it's brain matter under there. It's like an organic part of his scalp. I gotta help Chris text him through this. Chris already got his ticket to Barbie. Beautiful. Fantastic. I do not have my ticket to Barbie or Oppenheimer yet. Maybe whoever wins this, I'll buy my ticket to their movie at the end. That's the prize they get. It's not quite a championship belt. Oh my god, what a nice belly-to-belly suplex there from Gene Tatlock to Barbie on the outside, and they're gonna have... Ladies, get back in the ring! Hello? You're gonna get counted out! Somebody get in the ring! No, please, not like this! Come on! No, what's happening? Get in the ring, Gene! Barbie's in there. Oh my god. I do not want to see a count out here, especially in this match. Come on. Yeah, and then is Mission Impossible releasing on the same day or on the same week? See, if it was possible, I would totally have had Ethan Hunt do a run-in in this match too, but you can't do run-ins in mixed tag matches. My buddy that I always go see movies with doesn't want to go see Barbie, so I guess I'm going alone. What kind of self-respecting man says I don't want to go see Barbie? Fuck him. We should go see Barbie together. Joe. Mission Impossible is the 14th. Okay, that's what it was. It releases close to it, but not the same day. Because I remember hearing Tom Cruise wanted them to change their release dates. Because Tom Cruise, of course, is the arbiter of cinema in the box office. He doesn't want to see any movie fail. Of course, no less his own, but I don't think he wanted to see anybody come up against each other in the box office. He wants everybody to succeed. He cares so much about this. Personally, of the three movies, I'm definitely buying my ticket to Mission Impossible before anything. I can't fucking wait for Mission Impossible. Nick Muhlbach, why did you say that name? Chris gets to see Mission Impossible on Thursday. Lucky duck. That's like my most anticipated movie of the year, I believe, as of this point forward. Also looking forward to Oppenheimer and Barbie, of course. What a great month we have for the movies. Barbie and Gene really going at it on the outside here. I have not seen a movie with D-Box yet. I did see we got it in at the Tinseltown out here. I've been to a few movies that had D-Box, but it's usually pretty sold out and filled in by the time I bought my ticket. So it's like the very front of D-Box. I haven't done it yet. I don't know if is it worth it. What a kung fu pose by J. Robert Oppenheimer there. I'm not. I don't know if I would even like it. Holy shit! Huge clothesline. Sat next to the seats, and even your chair was rumbling. Yeah, we saw Indiana Jones last night, and it had, wow, what a neat. Oppenheimer's just beating the damn bricks off Ken here. Going in for a sleeper hold. No, a modified crossface. He become crossface, the choker of men. No, Ken fights out of it. He's got that Kenergy rocking. Yeah, I don't know if I would like the D-box thing. Super kick. I don't know if that would be distracting for me or not. It was available for Indiana Jones, but like the selection just wasn't very good by the time I bought tickets. So I don't know. If a great wow, what a Hurricane Rana there by Ken. Hurricane Rana, possibly trademark. This is also kind of a one-night special, by the way. These four. I don't know that these four are gonna stay on the roster, not unless anyone's a particularly large fan of any. Maybe Barbie. It would be fun maybe to keep Barbie on the roster. I don't know. But Gene Tatlock goes for the finish here. Not quite yet, Gene. Not quite yet. Huge need of Barbie. Yeah, similar to Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk. Rest in peace. Rest in piss. I don't think Gene Tatlock or J. Robert Oppenheimer will be coming back after WAT-CON. I don't know. We'll see. You never know. Things go differently than I planned. Sometimes a portal opens up and 6 different Rey Mysterios spill out and win the Money in the Big briefcase. You just never know how things will go. Sometimes you book a Rock versus Rock showdown and Dom Toretto comes out and gets a disqualification finish. You just never know what will happen to WATCW. And that's very true for me. Big German suplex from Gene Tatlock. And though this might be a bit of a palate cleanser, whoever gets this is getting a huge W for their respective film. Gene's going for it right here. Barbie kicks out. And thank goodness for that, because Ken was, I don't know, sitting on the sidelines picking his nose. His job is beach, not wrestling, so it is kind of unfair to expect he would know what to do here, as Gene locks in a crazy armbar on Barbie. Middle of the ring. Is Barbie gonna tap? No, she lets her out of it. Gene lets Barbie go. Goes for the tag to Oppenheimer, which means it's time to ramp up that Kenergy. Here we go. Ken's got real, like, Orange Cassidy vibes. I'm just now noticing. He's great. Bro, I'd be so embarrassed that my mom wouldn't let me fight Mark Zuckerberg. So that's what... Oh, my God, look at those striking palms to Ken there. I like missed some of the story. So Elon Musk won't fight Mark Zuckerberg because his mom's afraid he'll get beat up or something. Is that what's going on? Which, by the way, I called it. I don't remember. I think it was during a Resident Evil 4 stream, but I definitely called that fight was not going to happen because Elon was going to bitch out. Dude's just the fucking worst. Which, well, I get it, because Mark Zuckerberg would have demolished him, as we saw, of course, earlier tonight. He did demolish him. But he would have got his shit ended in a cage fight with the Zuck. They are still fighting, but his mom doesn't want him to. Are they still fighting? Elon's mom won't let him fight. Wait a minute, hold on, hooks the leg. I thought it was up. I also thought it was off. I saw people saying it was off. I know Dana White was already hyping it up and printing merch and shit. I was obviously skeptical from the beginning. I was like, that just doesn't seem like something that would ever actually happen, even if they both said it would. But I knew the one to get punked out would be that pale piece of shit Musk. Hooks the leg. Barbie going for the pin. I loved that he tried to implement a new terrible feature for 6 hours with the tweet view limit, and then completely bitched out of it before the day was over, because predictably everyone hated it and it made no sense. Just actively trying to wreck that platform. As of now, it is still happening. Well, it's not, of course, because we saw earlier tonight Mark Zuckerberg did end Elon's life by caving in his chest with a flying elbow in the Billionaire cage fight. So he won't be doing anything ever again. R.I.P. But I also, regardless, definitely don't think that's going to happen. I hope it does, by the way. I'm on board, because I would love to see Zuckerberg just it's going to be like when fucking Neo sees like all the binary code in the Matrix. Like he sees it running inside and outside of everybody. That's going to be Zuckerberg once they ring the bell in the UFC. He's just going to see all the ones and zeros in Elon. And he's just going to... Oh, spear by Oppenheimer! Spear to Ken! Is that it? Oh, Ken just barely kicked out of that spear. This is a hellaciously competitive mixed tag match here. Perhaps not just the novelty fight that we expected. These four really want to get the advantage going into release night later this month. Zuckerberg will beat Musk's ass. Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. Whoa, huge slam to the outside. Incredible the way Oppenheimer keeps that hat on him. What a show it's been so far, folks. All the titles have changed hands. Do you realize that? Every single championship has changed. Wow! Over the top suicide dive by J. Robert Oppenheimer. Unbelievable. Or on Twitch, we might say that was a over-the-top rope unalive dive, maybe, is more proper these days. I don't know what you are allowed to say and not say anymore. Going for a bit of the camel clutch. RIP Iron Sheik on the outside. Of course, you need to be in the ring to get a submission victory. Zuckerberg has those dead killer eyes. Yeah. He's going to just fucking... He's going to kill his soul. He's gonna suck his soul out. Okay, we're dangerously close to a count-out finale here. Ken's fighting out of it. Y'all gotta get back in the ring. I do not want to see another count-out finish here. Oppenheimer's back in. What are you doing? Oh! Oppenheimer breaks the pin. Not sure what the count. Not sure what that was all about. He could have enjoyed a count-out victory. Narrowly breaking the pin, and Ken's a little too into himself to even seem to realize that he's in a match here. Takes Ken back to their corner. Man, despite the formal attire sported by J. Robert Oppenheimer, that man can move. Goes to the pin, and I wonder if it'll be enough just by sheer exhaustion, but Gene's here to save it for it. Be careful, Gene. You can't hit the opposing gender here. Oh man, I remember that they once called that move an unprettier, but it's never looked better than when Ken did it right here and now. Barbie ducks Gene off the apron. I can't believe Oppenheimer kicked out of that. That was a picture-perfect finish, but guess what? He's got another one in the chamber. I have become Ken. Hooks the leg. That's gotta be it. And it is. Barbie and Ken win. Barbie and Ken win. Barbie and Ken riding a hell of a lot of momentum on their way to the box office later this month. Here's your Old Spice replay. Don't ban me, Twitch, for the burned-in sponsorship. And Christopher Nolan wept. Christopher Nolan has left the chat. Christopher Nolan has unsubscribed.
Here are your winners.
Wow. Huge win for Barbie and Ken. His job is beach, but maybe it's Wrestle now. And they're enjoying this as they should. This is huge for their momentum going into release night later this month. Congrats to Barbie and Ken on a well-earned victory. And now let's move ahead, folks, to our main event. The last match of the night. Folks, if you've been watching the WATCW for a while, you'd understand how big this is. This is another one where I wish we could just play the tail of the tape and show you the full replay, the backstory, the secret origin of how we got here and how these two men found themselves in the main event at WAT-CON. Nacho Libre, undefeated. I think he's in singles, that is. I think he's something like 12-0, something insane like that. Nacho Libre has never lost in singles before. He is the former World Heavyweight Champion. He lost that title to Dominic Toretto in an Elimination Chamber match. and then subsequently lost his rematch when Walter White made Dominic Toretto tap out at Really Mania to win the World Championship. And Nacho has not been able to get himself back in this position ever since, until now.
And is for the prestigious Pro Wrestling Super World Championship.
Tonight, Nacho has an opportunity to finish the story and come back for his second World Championship reign. You see, for the first time ever, backing him up there, by the way, as Esqueleto, Nacho's former tag team partner, making his WATCW debut to escort Nacho to the ring. Of course, Walter White will have Jesse Pinkman and Saul Goodman in his corner. We want a nice, clean fight. We don't want any surprises or interference. So Esqueleto is here as Nacho's enforcer. Walter White, of course, is in his second World Championship reign, having defeated Suge Knight 323 to win that belt back. Last stream, it sold out. These two have never competed one-on-one. Nacho Libre is perhaps, or has been said to be, the greatest superstar in WATCW history. A fan favorite, a former world champion, and an inspiration to everybody in the world. And in the other corner, we've got Walter White, who is the most dominant world champion we have ever seen, enjoying his second world title reign, unprecedented, never been done before in this company. Walter White, the winner of the Real Rumble, won that belt in the main event at Really Mania, but these two have never competed one-on-one before. Not only are we... Oh, and here they come. That belt around his waist. Heisenberg is here, the one who knocks. Here to defend that championship in the main event at WAT-CON. It doesn't get bigger than this. I would go as far as to say, not only are we going to learn who the undisputed world champion is here tonight, whoever wins this, in my opinion, I'm just a commentator, I'm just the commissioner, I can't decide this in any official capacity, but whoever wins this match, in my humble opinion, is the WATCW GOAT. In my humble opinion, the winner of this match will be the greatest WATCW superstar of all time, at least up until now. This is massive. And we'll do a little poll. We gotta do one more poll. Close it out. Who will win? Who is the GOAT? Walter White or Nacho Libre? So much is on the line here. As I've said before, Nacho Libre never lost in a one-on-one match. He lost in Elimination Chamber, and he lost in the Triple Threat at Really Mania by way of Walter White submitting Dom Toretto to win that belt you see around his waist here. But Nacho has never, until now, had the opportunity to win that belt back. By the way, Nacho, since losing the belt, or since losing at Really Mania, has not lost since. He has won every single match he's competed in, save for that Soul Survivor match. See, I'm saying Nacho has lost, but only in these very complicated, intense gimmick matches. Although the Rick Raddus is one of two people in history to pin Nacho. Dom Toretto and Rick Raddus are the only two people who have ever pinned Nacho Libre. Everybody's voting Nacho. Everybody thinks Nacho's winning the belt tonight. Everybody thinks Nacho's the GOAT. Let's see. And you actually notice for the first time, Nacho's keeping that mask on in the match.
From Mexico, weighing in at 304 pounds.
Esqueleto.
The living legend, the Luchador.
Nacho Libre keeping that mask on for the first time ever in the match. That's how serious he's taking this. Going back to his Lucha Libre roots.
From Albuquerque, New Mexico, weighing in at 174 pounds. He is the prestigious Pro Wrestling Super World Champion, Walter White.
Walter White, you know, he's a bit of a lightweight, but the thing of it is, he's a ring tactician, a strategist. And he is so clever and so cunning in that ring. And before you know it, he has you locked up in that crossface middle of the ring, and before you can believe it, you're tapping out. Nacho, of course, never is tapped out in any context, and I don't know that we'll see that happen tonight. But here we go, folks. One-on-one. Nacho Libre, Walter White. This has been a long, long time coming. World Championship on the line. And whoever walks away from this, the victor, may just in fact be, as far as I'm concerned, the greatest of all time that we've seen thus far here in WAT-CW. And yes, Walter White does have the evolution entrance. Nacho Goat Bray. If Nacho taps, I might cry. Look, we've got to, after everything that's happened tonight, I think we need to see Nacho Libre prove that there is still good left in this world, that it still means something to take the high ground, to stand for something, to serve soup to little orphans in Mexico. There's got to be a reason to get up in the morning and do the right thing. A life that Walter White has not lived in years, but he has enjoyed the life of a champion as he goes up top and calls for Nacho to join him. Big double axe handle off the top rope to Nacho Libre. These two are so dangerous in that ring. Those two are so competitive. It really could be anybody's match tonight. But whoever wins this one will have had to have earned it tenfold. Oh, and a little gesture to the fans there from Nacho Libre, who's enjoying it, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Even when you're somebody as dangerous and as talented as Nacho, you've got to stay laser focused on the man and the fedora, who throws Nacho to the outside. You see Esqualito keeping his eyes on this. He doesn't want any funny business, Saul Goodman, okay? Mexico, stand up, says Chris in the chat. If Walter wins, that would be, to me, that would be a Roman retaining at WrestleMania moment. We've got to, after everything we've done, after everything we've experienced, the ride we've been on with Nacho, and everything we've had to feel tonight here at WAT-CON, I dare say we need to see Nacho with the gold tonight, but Nacho better come to it on the outside, or he might get counted out. And here's the thing, Nacho is so experienced, so smart. He knows to take his time, catch his breath, and freshen up before getting back in there and taking over momentum of this match. Here comes Nacho. Big drop kick to Walter's head in the corner. Incredible. Nacho wants to finish the story. For so long, he went purely undefeated in this league. For so long, the fans rallied behind him, chanted his name, and fought for him into a championship match. Wow, what a reversal by Nacho. He did indeed win his first ever world championship at the Real Rumble from John Cena. And later that night, Walter White would win the Real Rumble to secure his spot in the main event at Really Mania, where he did in fact win his first world championship. I was very concerned there for a second. Won his first world championship at the expense of Nacho Libre. But these two have never gone head-to-head in a one-on-one singles match before. Oh! I believe Nacho has just been busted open. The lucha mask may conceal some of the blood. Oh, back and forth. Big clothesline. Oh! I wasn't sure who was going to come out on top of that one, but it is Walter White. And we've seen these two do such incredible things. There's no telling when one might hit that finishing move. Oh! Big jump to the outside. Thought I was going to see some sort of move there. German suplex from Nacho to Walter on the outside. This is just so personal. The stakes are so high. This is just so important to both competitors. There was no question in my mind that this had to be the main event at WAT-CON. There's truly not a bigger match we could possibly conceive of than these two going head-to-head. Nacho enjoying dominance on the outside there against Walter. Going to go inside the ring and let Walter stew a bit in this countout. No! And it is a great point. Of course, Nacho cannot win the belt by countout. He has to pin or submit Walter in the ring tonight if he wants to become world champion. And it is interesting. Oh! Returning the favor. Walter's busted open. Nacho's busted open as they go back and forth on the outside. This is so brutal. This is so personal. Truly a battle between good and evil. Oh, back and forth. They got to get back in the ring here. Nacho breaks the count again. Very aware of the surroundings and of the rules of the match as Walter drives him into those hot pink steel steps. Oh, and we've seen every title change hands tonight. Becky the Wreck defeated Lady D for the Women's Championship. Flick and Rill defeated Benny and Moose for the Team's Championship. Rick Raddus defeated Slick Nick for the Twitch Championship. And now you gotta think Walter's cognizant of this. Walter has got to be aware of the momentum of the night, the energy in this arena. He does not want to be caught up in the wave as Nacho gestures to the fans again, keeps him in the palm of his hand in the pocket. Oh, we've seen this move so many times. German into the big Nacho lariat. We've seen him finish so many opponents with that. New champion, new champion. Could it be? No, Walter just narrowly kicks out of that Nacho lariat. Unbelievable. Now we know what's up next. Oh, he reversed it. Oh my God, I thought it was the spear. We've seen him. No, wait, he reverses the spear into the Walter White crossface. No, he's got the crossface locked in. He's submitted so many with that same move. Oh, he's defended that belt so many times with the crossface. Will Nacho tap? He doesn't. Won't let him out of it, but now he's going to go for a pin. Will he retain? Nacho just barely lifts a shoulder. Walter can't believe it. He's arguing with the crowd. He's arguing with the ref. And he goes right back in. That's the mark of a true champion there. He doesn't let up. He doesn't delay. He goes right back in because he knows how dangerous Nacho is. And he gets back to his feet here. Oh my God. Big knee to Walter's skull. Chris is in disbelief in the chat. Back and forth these two go. I couldn't believe it. Spanish fly! Straight from Mexico! Hooks the leg. Is that going to be enough? Is that going to be a new champion? No! Walter kicks out, and now it's Nacho's turn to be stunned, surprised, arguing with the ref. What a match these two are putting on. What a contest! Nacho goes up top. A flying eagle, perhaps. Big frog splash! Hooks the leg! New champion! No! Walter kicks out again. What's it going to take to put these guys... Spear! That's got to be it! Hooks the leg, new champion! And it is! New champion! He does it! Nacho finishes the story! Unbelievable! Look at this. These two meet in the ring. No way! The greatest to ever do it. Nacho and Walter. Walter raises Nacho's hand, a show of pure respect. I kind of wish it didn't play this dopey cutscene because now we don't get to see Nacho get the title. But what a display of respect. The two greatest to ever do it right there. Nacho Libre and Walter White. And after that insane contest, a well-deserved and well-earned show of respect, which is what we needed. That's what we needed to see. Not only is Nacho Libre the new World Heavyweight Champion, but a show of respect, of common decency in the ring to prove that there is still good in this world, that there is still something worth fighting for, that there is a reason to get up in the morning and do the right thing, not just for the glory or the championship gold, because it's simply the right thing to do. And now we can all rest easy knowing we live in a world where Nacho Libre is the reigning defending WATCW champion. Chris starting a Nacho chant in the chat. Matt saying, fuck Nacho and his bitch ass. Matt is so lucky that he chats from the very same account I'm streaming from, because that would be a bannable offense otherwise. I don't think I can ban my own account. Matt, of course, Matt has no love for Nacho. Nacho, when he defeated Matt months ago, started the downfall of the master, Matt Thomas. Chris says the greatest of all luchas. Gracias a Dios that Nacho won. Featured film starting a Nacho chant. This is really rallying the WATCW community. This has really turned everything around. And even though things don't go the way that you planned, let this be testament that you never know what's right around the corner. That never lose hope. Never lose hope, folks, because sometimes the story does have a happy ending. And you're looking at it right there as Nacho Libre is now once again, for the second time ever, the WATCW World Heavyweight Championship. Nacho is over as fuck. Yes, he is. He's truly the people's champion. He finished the story, the belt he never lost. And now he's got it once again. But it's time to make an announcement about the future of WATCW. And it's very interesting that Nacho has that belt back. Because starting in the next, and I was saying this earlier, I had something interesting for all of our friends in the league. Starting on the next stream, I don't know when that's going to be. It's probably going to be a little while before my next wrestling stream. I want to finish up Resident Evil 4. I want to do a couple things before we get back in the ring. But when we return, WATCW will start off, for the first time ever, the King of the Ring tournament. This is going to be the biggest tournament we've ever done. It's a singles tournament, and it will include every single wrestler in this game that's modeled after a person I actually know. So that's my fellow streamers, that's my fellow podcasters, those are my old Schmodown alumni, your Watt personalities, everyone, not these two guys. There shouldn't be any fictional characters in it. I gotta do the math on the bracket. Maybe I'll have to put like 2 or so fictional characters in to balance things out, because it's going to be a giant tournament. But we've got featured films in the chat. We've got Chris Anthony Lopez in the chat. We've got Matt Thomas in the chat. We've got Dilly Tods in the chat. All 4 of those guys are going to be in that tournament. I had Metaract in the chat earlier saying he wants to get in the league, so he'll be in that tournament. We had Quiz Show. We got What the Show. They'll all be in the tournament. All of them. It's going to be a massive... Now, we're not going to do all of this in one stream, mind you. This is going to be split up amongst several streams. We're going to do our big King of the Ring tournament, and the winner of that tournament will, of course, get a world title opportunity. Perhaps against that man right there, Nacho Libre. I suspect they'll have a couple defenses before we crown the king, but perhaps the winner of that tournament will indeed be facing Nacho Libre for that world championship. So fear not, Chris Anthony Lopez. Redemption may still be around the corner for you. You may still see Retribution as the future world champion and king of the ring. So start getting your promos in, start talking your shit, because everybody will be competing against one another, and somebody is about to go on an insane win streak by way of that tournament. Who could it be? You have to wait and find out. But it is so late. I do not have work off tomorrow. I very much wish I did, but I don't. It is very late, so it is time for me to go to bed. It's probably time for all of you to go to bed. But I thank you so much for tuning in. I know, I'm sorry I keep postponing and canceling streams. I hate to do it. Things have been coming up. So thank you very much. I wasn't sure how this one would do with it being on a holiday after all. But this was a lot of fun. Great turnout. I wasn't sure if people were still really into these wrestling streams or not, but it seems like they are. So that's very encouraging, and that makes me very happy. So thank you for tuning in tonight, my friends. I will see you all. Next stream will be Resident Evil 4. I can't say for certain when that'll be. I like to say Thursday, but I don't know. Sometimes these things don't work out the way I plan. I'd like to say Thursday, but next time will be Resident Evil 4. And next WATCW stream, whenever that might be, probably not till once I finish Resident Evil 4 at the very least, we will start our King of the Ring tournament. It is going to be crazy, and it is going to be massive, and you are all going to be a part of it. So I look forward to it. Feature films will be in touch about seeing Barbie. Beautiful. I mean, that's as if I didn't have enough to celebrate here. I get to go see Barbie with feature films. Hell yeah. Another fun show, Commish. Thank you, Chris. I apologize. Things don't always go the way we planned. That was very true in several ways tonight, but I hope it was a good show and a good stream, and I thank you all for joining me. I'll see you next time. Happy 4th. If I don't chat with you for the rest of the week, enjoy the rest of your week. Have fun. Stay hydrated. Take care of each other. Drive home safe. And thank you for tuning in to WAT-CON. I'm the commissioner and your commentator. Have a good night, folks. Thanks for tuning in. It always takes a long time for it to stop broadcasting. I should probably pull it up and then say, here we go. Have a good night, folks. All right, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate y'all. See you next time.